Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spartan Stadium West. Tonight, the East Ascension High School Spartans will host the Scotlandville Hornets. The press box is under the direction of the East Ascension High School Booster Club, and all sponsorship funds are donated to East Ascension High School Booster Club. The starting lineups for tonight, starting with the visiting Scotlandville Hornets. On offense, quarterback number 1, Xavier Tassett. Running back number 26, Marlon Gunn Jr. Running back number 2, Chance Williams. Wide receiver number 10, Damian Knighton. Wide receiver number 4, John Hubbard. Wide receiver number 12, B.J. Hutchinson. Offensive lineman number 75, Jamel Franklin. Offensive lineman number 58, Hamaza Raham. Center number 65, Dale Evans. Offensive line number 64, Malcolm Ricard. And offensive line number 52, Lonnie Brand. On defense for the Hornets, defensive line number 62, Josh Lee. Defensive line number 77, Jarvis Miller. Defensive line number 9, Mickey Smith.
It's time for high school football, the Eatel game of the week. Jeff Porsche and Coach Swack are going to give you a game here at Griffin Field, but not the Dutchtown Griffins. It'll be the East Ascension Spartans who will be playing their season opener against Scotlandville High School. The Scotlandville Hornets coming in to take on East Ascension in just a few minutes. We'll be joined by Coach Swack in just a moment, but first we're going to take a break. You are watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
Daily routines change, but the land stays the same. There's ground to cover, a herd to feed, and you still have to make it back in time to get a clean start on tomorrow. So run with us on a John Deere Gator, because being linked to the land means the work never stops. Nothing runs like a deer.
At Ascension Equipment, save more today and mow tomorrow.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
If you believe in me, I'll be the first one in our family to graduate college.
I'll be the one to change our history of diabetes.
I'll live a healthy life.
If you believe in me, I'll know my worth is more than face value.
I'll be stronger than a weak heart. I'll know 68 pounds carries weight in this world.
If you believe in me,
I'll believe in myself.
Belief in our children can change their future. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Health.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Back to Griffin Field for East Ascension and Scotlandville. I'm Jeff Porsche, and Coach Swack is out here with us. And tell me what you're thinking about this game tonight, Swack.
Well, I can just tell you right off the bat, that if you are familiar with any sporting event in the city of Baton Rouge, Scotlandville and Zachary in that area, along with Catholic High, and I think you could probably throw Woodlawn in there this year, are huge. And what has happened with Scotlandville is I think maybe 9 or 10 out of the last 12 years they've won the state championship in basketball. They are totally outstanding. It's a magnet school, so they play in the select division. And they have a number of phenomenal athletes. In fact, you're going to look at phenomenal athletes on both sides of the ball, whether it be Scotlandville or the East Ascension Spartans tonight.
And you talk about the improvement that's taken place here at Scotlandville. And we can take a look at the coaches real fast. The coaches from Scotlandville, Lester Ricard, you might remember that name. He was an LSU commit, wound up playing college football at Tulane, and he's 14-4 in just 2 seasons at Scotlandville. And then East Ascension, you have, of course, Darnell Lee, who has just taken the reins and run with it, and that program has improved dramatically over the last 5 years.
Yeah, he's 53-36 overall. Most of those wins coming at East Ascension. And Darnell has started out like everybody else with a regular schedule, and then all of a sudden with the hurricane, with the COVID, things have changed drastically for a lot of football teams. And here you are with 3 of the teams in Ascension Parish. There's a lot of changes that had to be made in the schedule. We have the national anthem by the EA Band.
And there's the East Ascension Spartan Band with the national anthem. And we're going to take a look at the opening night information. We'll get the captains in just a moment as we're about to get the coin toss as well. But opening night, it's week 2 in LHSAA, but week 1 for both of these schools. They did not play last week. Neither team played. This is game 55 all time, and East Ascension 26-27-2. And you see they're 17-12 at home. This is a home game, even though it's not at Spartan Stadium. First game, a big win against Thibodaux. They defeated Northwest last year, and there have been a lot of games that have been postponed, and this is their season opener, but they really don't have the one that they were supposed to play last week.
And really what our sports fans have to realize, if you're not of age like maybe me, when you have the 2, what does the 2 stand for? after wins, losses, and then 2 is ties, Jeff.
Yeah, that don't happen around here anymore.
You don't have ties anymore. And, if somebody wants to do a quick review of how you used to break ties in the playoffs, because, you definitely can't have a tie in the playoff. A lot of times it went by first downs. How many times you crossed the 50. It was some crazy stuff. Some great football back in the day. Of course, now you have the overtime periods from the 10-yard line. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you go to the third overtime period, you have to go start going for 2-point conversions. No more ties.
Yes, and that's a good thing, I believe. You need to get the winner settled on the field because you don't need all that craziness to settle tiebreakers in postseason play. We're about ready to have the coin toss, and you can see on the East Ascension side, looks like they're going to have 3 captains for the Spartans, and you see number 7, Kendrick Broussard, and then you have the quarterback-receiver combo that was so successful last year. Troy Dunn, the quarterback for East Ascension, number 8, number 10, Jaquel Mack. You might remember the touchdown in the game against Sanamaw in overtime. That was the big connection in that game last year. It looks like those 3 guys are going to be the captains. Looks like on the Scotlandville side, number 7 and number 8, that's Jeremiah Jackson and Antonio Cooley Jr. Then you have number 28, Coy Guillory. They got number 26, Marlon Gunn Jr.
Jeff, your eyes are a little bit better than mine on that deal. But the one thing that you want to do, this is going to be a big game, and a lot of people say it's the opening night of football season. I know I'm not real certain. I'm sure Scotlandville plays on turf throughout the year, just like a lot of high schools. This is going to be East Ascension. I'm sure they played on turf before. But this is a big deal here in Ascension Parish. They got Dutchtown finished. All the turf is done. Jeff Pyron's told me the only thing that needs to be put on here at Dutchtown is the cooling granules that causes, I think, a 20% decrease in temperature on the turf, and that hasn't been put on yet. And we're going to talk to Jeff, in our next game, which will be tomorrow night, where Dutchtown will be hosting Evangel, and he's going to talk to us about where we stand with turf. A lot of people think it's just Sanamaw and East Ascension, but you also have Donaldsonville that doesn't have turf on yet, and the fields are very close to being prepared, and then all of a sudden you got this Hurricane Ida came through, and it disrupted a lot of lives and a lot of things in a high school life. And one of the first things is your volleyball, your cross country, your swimming, and of course your football season.
Yes, not every school in the parish has reopened yet. The remaining ones will be reopening soon, but Dutchtown was able to open, but East Ascension was not able to open, and Donaldsonville was not able to open either, and a couple of middle and primary schools have not been ready. So we're just very fortunate, very blessed to have both a football field where we can play football and actual football. And one kind of plus to this whole situation right now is for the foreseeable future, we're going to have games Thursday night at Dutchtown, Friday night, maybe even Saturday games at Dutchtown. So you don't really get to see the other schools, but this year you might get an opportunity to come out here and check out how the other schools are doing as well.
There's no doubt. And Lyle is going to have to be on his toes. Lyle, he's the ringleader of this whole operation, all the information and everything else. But every week, Jeff, there could be cancellations. Number one, there could be forfeits because of the COVID virus.
Yes.
That's the number one thing right there. There's not going to be any cancellations because of the virus. It's going to be forfeits. But you can have cancellations because of the hurricane. And I'm going to just tell you, every week Lyle is going to have to be on his tippy toes, where he might be 5'7" then.
Yes.
And, I shouldn't say that in front of you either. but it won't be 6'7" like me. And just trying to make sure, because I know Darnell, Gus is going to, and Oliver, at Dutchtown, and Oliver at Santa Ma are going to try to be doing everything to make sure that they play as many games they possibly can, because from what I'm hearing, South Lafourche on up, all the Houma, most of your New Orleans public schools, they are in some seriously bad situation here. Mm-hmm. Here's your coin toss right here. So East Ascension defers to the second half, and just like any offensive coach, like Lester Righard says, I'll take that ball in the first half. And right off the bat, Jeff, we're going to see some outstanding players on offense for Scotlandville.
Yes, and just to kind of finish your point, there are some games that could be up in the air for all these teams in the parish. As next week, you're supposed to have East Ascension versus Destrehan. That's highly unlikely to happen. Then you have homecoming for Dutchtown is against Cy Academy in New Orleans. They don't have power out there, and I know Helen Cox and Santa Ma play later on in the season. So those are some games that are going to be fluid throughout the year for sure. So, as you said, we're going to see a really good Scotlandville offense right off the bat. And I tell you what, one thing about Scotlandville, they have talent and they have big guys. They have big size at every position. Their offensive line is huge. Their defensive line is huge. You're going to see some outstanding players out here for the Hornets. So back deep to receive, you got number 2 for Scotlandville, Chance Williams, and number 22, Curry Langley. And the kickoff will be Kern for East Ascension.
Well, that Kern name's been around the kicking ranks of East Ascension over a few years now.
And it's Evan this time doing the honors. And Evan Kern kicks off the 2021 season as the Streamers go and return from the 5-yard line and up to the 30, and he is free, and he's got one guy to beat. He gets through, and he's going to score. Chance Williams, 95-yard kick return for the touchdown right off the bat.
And Kern's kickoff was totally outstanding other than being in the end zone. Nice high kick. As you said, caught on the 5 and bore all the way down that sideline. Chance Williams, 5'9", 195-pound senior. And, of course, you know where he's playing, running back and wide receiver.
You have a flag on the field now. I believe they're going to get a celebration penalty for Scotlandville. That's what it's going to be before we get this extra point. But as you saw in the replay, it looked like a couple of East Ascension players had the angle, but Chance Williams, that guy was fast.
Chance Williams changed that angle very quickly. And, basically, he had a little – whether I don't think it was a middle return, maybe it looked like a right return. He went down that right sideline, but I'm going to tell you, Jeff, I didn't see anybody touch him.
No,
and it's not like it was wide open. I mean, he went through a little seam there.
It looked like a little ordinary return up to about the 25-yard line, and then he accelerated and he was gone. And so Scotlandville 6-0 right off the bat, waiting for the extra point.
So I think they're going to take this penalty, should take it on the kickoff.
Yes.
Nope, take that back. They are
going to push it back.
This is a 15-yarder. Coach Darnell Lee might have done a little scouting report on the kicking game for Scotlandville and said, we're going to make this guy kick a legitimate 35-yard extra point.
So Damian Knighton is the holder, number 10, and the kicker will be Nick Montgomery, number 34. He's a senior kicker. So we'll see if he has the foot to get the extra point. This could be a big break for East Ascension if he doesn't pull this off. And it's up, and it's long enough. And that's perfect. So it's 7-0, Scotlandville with the lead.
Jeff,
yes,
that ball hit about 25 yards past the goalpost right there.
That could have been good from 40 to 50.
And I'm just telling you, the holder did a heck of a job. The ball was a little bit off-centered and was able to put it back on that tee and get it on through that the uprights there. 7-0 Scotlandville.
So we'll take a break. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
So 7-0, Scotlandville takes the lead on East Ascension, and Montgomery will kick for the Hornets, and back deep centered is Xavier Jupiter, number 13, and he's got men on both sides. And we are just about ready for the kickoff. Looks like Ja'Cory Mitchell and Brennan Thompson are the other two men back deep for the Spartans. Only 9 seconds elapsed so far in this first quarter.
So, that's impressive from the 95-yard line, going 95 yards in 9 seconds. That had to be a mistake somewhere on that
perhaps
time operator.
Perhaps. And they're way off sides. If they could throw a flag there, don't know if they are. Jupiter's going to take it about the 10, and he bounces inside to about the 24-yard line. There were a couple of guys there at least 2 or 3 yards past the kicker. I don't see a flag, though.
I don't like to sit here and analyze officials and stuff like this, but this guy was like at least 1.5 yards offside.
Yes. So now the ball's at the 25s, and that's where East Ascension will start.
Well, they're going to start with the huddle, with the lineman only, and the running back and the quarterback, 2 receivers to both sides.
So Dunn, the quarterback for East Ascension, getting the call from the sideline.
Same type of defense for both teams tonight, a little 3-4 look.
And on first down, there's a handoff up the middle, good hole, and pushing ahead near another first down. I believe that's number 6, Ja'Cory Johnson on the carry. So that's 9-10 yards on first down. Enough for a first down, so 1st and 10.
It's amazing on this. And they're coming out quick out of the huddle. When you have that 3-man look right there and you get those bigs on bigs right there, you can make things happen, get a little movement, and that running back just finds that little hole right there.
Ja'Cory Johnson still in the backfield. We'll get to the East Ascension starting lineup after this play. But Johnson gets it on first down, hole up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's about 1 yard short of another first down. So 9 yards on first down. And we'll take a look at the East Ascension offense right now. Troy Dunn, the quarterback, senior, comes back from last year. At running back, Walters Samuel is the scheduled starter. Ja'Cory Johnson, though, in the backfield. Then you have at receivers, Ja'Cory Mitchell, Brennan Thompson, Jaquel Mack, Xavier Jupiter. Then on the offensive line, Richardson, Gray, Ennis, Gordon, and Jackson. So
Mack is your tight end / receiver. There he is at the tight end. A lot of people call that the little sniffer back, where you get that little motion, and you'll see that. And Mack to the outside blocking, outstanding job.
And there's Samuel as he takes a flip and gets the first down, and about 5 more. Gain of 6 on the play, so that's Samuel's first carry of the season.
An outstanding job by the right side of the offensive line, along with Mack leading around on the outside backer right there. And Samuel doing a good job getting it outside and picking up the big first down.
So Samuel, the listed starter. Johnson did get the start on the first series of downs.
Yeah.
And now you see Samuel in the backfield. He's their top returning back from last season.
You got trips now since you're on the right hash.
And a flag goes down. So it looks like we're going to have a penalty on the Spartans. And there's a false start.
5-yard penalty. That's Chavez Banks.
And we'll take this opportunity to look at the Scotlandville Hornets defense. They have at the line Josh Lee, Jarvis Miller, and Makai Smith. Those are some big guys. Look at 77 out there. He's huge, 380 pounds. Linebackers Langley, Milligan, and Bell. defensive backs Jackson and Idusui. And then also in the backfield, Marlon Thomas, Cameron Reed, and Darleonte Wilson. Now on first down, handoff up the middle, and there you see the big guy, that number 77 we were just talking about. Jarvis Miller just swallowed up Walter Samuel.
And I don't know if you can see the replay right here. We're having some difficulty with the monitor, but I'm going to tell you, that's basically what you want to do. Hand that ball off right at that center, that nose guard, and maybe get a double team, maybe even a triple team on that big man, and then you rely on the running back to make a cut off of that block.
So now 2nd and 15 after no gain, and Samuel will take a seat, and Corey Johnson back in. And he'll get it, and he's wrapped up from behind. Nice tackle from the line by number 62, Josh Lee. So gain of 1, and it's 3rd and long for the Spartans. Definitely a passing down right here.
It's 3rd and long, and then, it just depends on what you're running. If it's a read option type deal where you would read that defensive end, and maybe Dunn would have the opportunity to pull it. But from the backside, that defensive end was able to pick up Samuels from the backside.
Spartans had some momentum, but that penalty hurt them, and now it's 3rd and 14. And lots of time, but tries to get it up the middle to Jupiter, but double coverage, overthrown, incomplete. So it's 4th and 14, and East Ascension will have to punt.
Well, a nice series right there. It started off with some nice long runs, no pass completions.
Evan Kern set deep to punt.
Kern's going to punt. He's going to take on double duty tonight. And Damian Knighton back to receive.
So you're on the 46-yard line. This is where, you hopefully you ironed out all the wrinkles and the kinks in the kicking game with the snap.
Caught a break as there was no pressure, and he was able to get it, and it bounces, takes an East Ascension bounce inside the 20. So that could have been a disaster, as you saw Kern bobbling the punt, but he was able to get a hold of it.
If I'm Coach Lee, you know what I'm telling Kern? I think he could have easily caught that. It was a little bit low, but don't think for a second that Scotlandville didn't see that.
Yes.
Might be coming after the next one.
You're absolutely right. And now the Scotlandville Hornets up 7-0. We haven't seen their offense yet, and they have a really good offense, and we're going to talk about that. After the first down, we'll give you their starting lineup. They're led by 6'3", 202-pound junior Xavier Tiset, and their running back Chance Williams and Marlon Gunn. They've got a couple of good ones, and you've already seen Chance Williams and his explosiveness. And he's going to be dotting the I in the backfield out of the shotgun.
You hear the Spartan fans, student section on to our right, having a good time here. And
I believe the play clock ran out. So I think we're going to get a delay right here. That's exactly what it is. So 5-yard penalty for Scotlandville right off the bat. So now you're inside the 10. Inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. So 1st and 15 right off the bat.
And Scotlandville has had some outstanding quarterbacks. I watched the UL quarterback when they played Texas the other day. He's been their starter at UL for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yes. And Tiset, the new quarterback, and gives it to Williams. Pitch out right, and he's got a big hole. Flag goes down. He gets about 13. I think this one's going to be coming back. That's in that holding area. I got a feeling this is what the call is going to be. Still waiting, but it was a nice hole, but probably an obvious reason why the hole was so big.
And your defensive front right there, your 3-man. Basically, it's a 3-4, just like Scotlandville. You got Alex Lambert at one end, and Riante Jones is out this game. And, everybody knows Riante as being a tremendously talented and a large linebacker, has moved to your nose guard defensive tackle position. Sidney Jones is going to take his place, number 36. And Thomas Lee number 84 is going to be your defensive end.
So first and long and empty backfield, 5 receivers, and Tisa steps up and completes it at the 10, and that'll get the penalty yardage back from the previous 2 plays, as it's going to bring up second down and 10 for Scotlandville. Let's take a look at the offense right now for the Hornets. As we said, Tisa at quarterback, running backs Williams and Gunn, receivers Knighton, Hubbard, and Guillory, also Hutchinson, and then on the offensive line, Franklin, Rahman, Evans, Ricard, and Brand. And now second and 10, and there's the handoff on the right side, and a nice tackle there by linebacker number 25 for East Ascension.
That's Burfeck.
Yeah, Joshua Burfeck, and gain of 5 on the play for Gunn.
Stop was made by.
Actually, make that Langley. Langley was the running back.
This is what football is all about, Jeff.
Yes.
Third down situations, especially 3rd and 5, no matter what level. Look, they got the tight trips right here. You got a single receiver into the sideline. Could be easily going to the wide side, and there they go.
And another flag's going to go down. This one is probably coming back too. Maybe a illegal contact. I believe somebody might have grabbed one of the linemen on the East Ascension side.
Well, usually what you have, Jeff, when you have those tight trips, that you got a lot of crack blocking, and you got that sideline judge. He's watching all of that right there, and it's pretty obvious that's what the call was.
That's already the 4th penalty on the Scotlandville side. So that's going to negate the first down, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long. Let's look at the East Ascension defense while we have an opportunity. On the line, Alex Lambert, Sidney Joseph, Thomas Lee Jr. At linebacker, you have Turner, Burfict, Hayes, and Foster. And then in the secondary, Bolden, Bouvet, Thomas, and Broussard. It's going to be 3rd and 12 for Scotlandville. As I said, there's already 4 penalties on Scotlandville, 1 on the kickoff and 3 on this first series of downs so far.
And if you look at that huddle out there, 75, Jamal Franklin, 6'7", 350 pounds.
They have a couple of guys over 350, and they don't look like just, they look like they're decent athletes as well. And now you're going to have a little break here as a timeout's going to be called by Scotlandville. So,
Jeff.
Yes.
I got an idea for Coach Darnell Lee. Mm-hmm. Did you see that run through to start the game for the Spartans? New run through this year. Mm-hmm. You put that guy at your nose guard spot, you got it made the entire night.
Yeah, it's and they have a new little thing that they're running through as well.
Well, that's not a little thing.
That's a big thing with the horse and the Spartan and the lightning bolt, and it's very, very nice, very, very cool to have them run through that.
I mean, I'm going to just tell you, this is what high school is all about. The most important thing, of course, is to win games, but realistically for everybody, it's to have fun.
That's right, and they've had fun in this series. They've played several times over in the years, and right now Scotlandville has a 3-2 lead in the all-time series. East Ascension won the first 2, but Scotlandville's on a 3-game winning streak. They won in 15 and 16. That was before Coach Lee got here, I believe.
Scotlandville's on the way to being a pretty consistent power at the football ranks. Yeah, you got an empty formation right here, and your quarterback could be running here because he's a very good athlete.
They need 12, and he's flushed out, throws downfield, complete for a first down. Good job by the receiver finding that first down marker and just stopping right there. Number 10, Damian Knighton, and he gets enough for the first down. First down for the Hornets.
And very good job by the offensive line, giving the quarterback T-set plenty of time. The left-hander right there just moving around a little bit in the pocket, getting set, and finding the open receiver for a first down.
And we're going to have the first hydration break halfway through the first quarter. So we'll take a 30-second break right now. Our score 7-0 Scotlandville. You're watching the Eatel Game of the Week.
Welcome back. We've missed you. We know it's been tough. Because rebuilding your business isn't for the faint of heart. Your business needs a jump start. and we're here to help. Introducing Surge, symmetrical speed fiber internet from Eatel Business. Revved up data speeds at 30% off, plus 3 months free. We're glad you're back, and we're here to make your business surge.
We're back, 7-0. Scotlandville with the lead over East Ascension. And Swag, there was only 3 actual plays in that series so far for Scotlandville. But it seemed like it took about 5 minutes for that to take place with all those penalties and the timeouts and all that type of stuff. It's slow going right now so far as Scotlandville takes over.
And here you have a situation where the ball's basically on your right hash. Not really a whole lot of room into the sideline. And here you have 2 receivers to the wide side of the field. And check this out. Where is the running back here for Scotlandville?
About 9 yards behind the line.
He looks like he's playing old Nebraska offense here.
Like they're going to snap it to him so he can punt. But he gets the ball, and he's got some momentum, but a good job by number 20 for the Spartans. That's Tyron Turner. So he makes the tackle after a 3-yard gain. Chance Williams, they're trying to get him some momentum. He's got that speed, but good job
basically
right there.
It's your stretch play right there, and you're trying to get outside to the wide side of the field, and linebacker and the outside defense for the Spartans did an outstanding job there.
So he got 3 on the carry, so it's 2nd down and 7 for the Hornets.
Empty formation here, Jeff.
Yes. So the quarterback, T-set, throwing downfield, and it's caught. Looked like that was nearly going to be picked by Keith Thomas, but then the reception made. That's Marlon Gunn Jr. That ball might have been a little bit behind him, but he came up with it, and good job by the receiver.
Whether you want to say behind it or not, I know one thing. There wasn't a hump in that throw, because I'm going to tell you what, that was a rocket he just threw right there.
Absolutely.
And, it's amazing because your quarterback that they've had in the past that's at UL, he's a left-hander also.
So on 1st down, it's going to be Williams, and he breaks through, and the flag goes down as he stopped at the line of scrimmage. It's like number 36 on the tackle.
Looks like that
Joseph.
Could possibly be a face mask.
I'm thinking so. Exactly. So it's a face mask.
You're going to either go 5 or 10 back, or forward, I should say. And
so they're going to go 15. Yep. So now they're approaching the red zone. Already with a 7-0 lead, ball at the 27-yard line.
It's amazing in this this football that you have now in high school, the big plays that can be made in the run game, but especially in the passing game.
Quarterbacks are just so good, and you look at this guy, 6'3", 202 pounds. He's got a good frame, and he's got a great arm, and he's very impressive. Xavier T-set. Remember that name. And there's a handoff to Williams, and wrapped up from behind by number 94 after a short gain. So the tackle made by Kevin Toussaint.
And you watch Rahman and Franklin, the left guard and left tackle, both pull on that little counter play. The guard trapping the outside backer and the tackle leading up.
So T-set out of the shotgun. Back to his side, 3 receivers, 1 left, 2 right.
Oh, East Ascension.
Looking right, now flushed. Still looking right. Pass is on the sidelines and the incomplete. So try to get it to Knighton on the sideline.
That's your umpire, and it's either holding or lineman downfield, one of the two.
So another penalty. Only 1 on the Spartans so far, 4 on Scotlandville, and it looks like they're walking back, so this is going to be number 5. It looks like they may be declining it. I think they are going to decline it. So
against the Hornets is declined by
They're going to
Spartans.
take a 3rd and 7 with 3:49 left to go in the first quarter. 7-0.
And some fans may not understand that. And, right now you're getting close to an area where that end zone, that short field, kind of helps you defensively.
So one back in the backfield on the left side, shotgun snap, and quarterback is in trouble. T-set now rolls out to his right, gets away. He's down inside the 20. That will not most likely, it's be close to a first down. It looks like he's going to be about 1.5 yards short.
And you have a situation, T-set right here made some moves that you might see an older kid in the playground make and got away from everybody right there.
Yeah, nice spin move. And it's going to be 4th and we'll call it a long 2. And the nice thing about that play was he got him in a position where they can go for it here on 4th and short. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
Oh, East Ascension looks like they're lined up and straight man-to-man, and rightfully so for this situation.
And so East Ascension's going to call a timeout, and they're going to get everything set up on this 4th and short. This is a big play. They already trail 7-0. Don't want to fall 14-0 at home in the first quarter. And let's talk about District 5-5A. That's East Ascension's district and the Ascension district in general. And nothing's really changed in that district. It's the same teams. You got the teams from the parish. You got East Ascension. You got Dutchtown and Santa Ma. That never changes. And then you got the 3 teams that are the usual teams from EBR. You got Catholic High. You got McKinley, and you got Woodlawn. And it used to be a case where Woodlawn and McKinley were kind of just walkovers. Now McKinley's not that way anymore. They're gonna compete for the district title this year.
I mean, you're looking at I watched the Woodlawn Catholic game last year, and I'm going to tell you, the Woodlawn quarterback is the real deal.
Yeah, Ricky Collins.
And they have a number of players that could play right along with him. And so, sadly to say, McKinley, they're not quite ready. You have an assistant at Santa Ma that took over the McKinley job, not quite ready to play, but you have anybody can win out of that district between Dutchtown Catholic, Woodlawn, Santa Ma, and East Ascension on any given, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night.
Yes, and now you have Williams in the backfield next to T-set, and pass, pitch, and catch complete for a first down. So move the chains, catch made by John Hubbard, 5'6", 150 pounds.
Great
junior.
job right here, a stunt right here. And T-set did an outstanding job of just getting a deep drop through a little short hitch pass right there to the outside and able to pick up a few yards, plenty for the first down.
And so at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 for Scotlandville. Moving now on the right hash with 3:22 left to go in the first quarter. First quarter controlled by Scotlandville, who took the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Now they're driving, trying to get another score on the board. T-set from the shotgun, pass complete to the 10, and then wrapped up very quickly by a couple of Spartan defenders. And so that'll bring up 2nd and 5 after a 5-yard gain.
I love what I see right here, the discipline. A lot of times here they go in a little hurry-up offense.
And on 2nd down, right up the middle, and that's going to get into the end zone, and Chance Williams has his 2nd touchdown of the night. First touchdown coming from the kickoff, and then the second one on a 10-yard run right up the middle.
Boy, just a little delay after the handoff, and finding that little opening right there and getting into the end zone. And look, so if you look at this drive, it was all passing. And only one long pass, Jeff. Everything was short, controlled passing, 5, 8, 10 yards, and able to move the ball, overcome some penalty situations, and doing an outstanding job right there, getting into the end zone. And
you're going to get another celebration penalty, and one that's warranted again. After the touchdown, they went about 20 yards down in near the track out there on the far end of the field, and then they started doing backflips and jumps and stuff like that. Looked like Cirque du Soleil out there for a moment. And another
I know
penalty.
Coach Ricard, he can't be preaching this stuff, and I would imagine that he's going to come back and he's going to have some words to his kids that this needs to stop, because when you look at the select division, Jeff, they got beaten in the quarterfinals last year by John Curtis. And, you say, oh, that's John Curtis. Everybody is like John Curtis in that select division.
Right.
And you got the Rummels, the Jesuits, the St. Paul's, the Catholics, all of those people, and you only have like about 13 teams. And I can tell you, it is loaded to the hilt. And, of course, same thing on the non-select.
Right.
Here you got Catholic going up to West Monroe to play today.
So they're still trying to sort this out. Last time this happened, after the kickoff, they chose to enforce it on the extra point, but then the kicker kicked it about a mile. So that strategy probably is not going to be what they go for here. If they're given the option to take it on the kickoff, that might be what they wind up going with.
Well, the referee came over and talked to Coach Lee, and while the referee's doing that, I guess he's going to go talk to Coach Ricard, and basically, the thing that I liked about it, the other officials were right there in the middle of both teams, just making sure nothing happened right here.
Yeah. Well, nothing's going on between the two teams. It's just kind of a little show-off kind of move on Scotlandville's part after the touchdowns. A little excessive celebration. Really, it doesn't. It seems like we've seen some clean football out here so far.
Well, just think the first two plays by East Ascension. 10-yard run, 9-yard run. Had a few nice plays right there, but not a consistent group of plays like Scotlandville has had.
So they must have called two of those right there, because you're kicking from the 40. So here's a 50-yard attempt by Montgomery. So apparently two unsportsmanlike penalties have been assessed.
The referee, somebody got ejected.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a guy jogging, but no, he's coming back. He's just doing some sprints.
Somebody got ejected. He gave the old thumb.
Yeah.
And, to be honest with you, I think if you got two unsportsmanlike penalties, you are ejected.
I wonder if it's Johnson, because he was the guy who scored on both plays, and he drills a 50-yard extra point. Wow. That's impressive. Line
now,
drive,
that's what
right
you
there.
need to celebrate right there, because that's big time.
And so it's 14-0, and we are going to break right here with 2:47 left to go in the first quarter. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons, for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
Running back. And we're back, 14-0. We're trying to speculate right here, Swack and I, on who is going to be ejected from the game. Still don't have word of that, but they're also going to assess the personal fouls on the kickoff. I think they're trying to just kill this before it gets out of hand, because they're kicking from the 5-yard line now. And that's a break for East Ascension. They're going to get the ball probably on the Scotlandville side of the field, and Jupiter's back deep to receive.
I can just tell you this, in high school football, this rarely ever happens.
Yeah.
Kicking off from the 5. I mean, you have a safety and you go kick off from the 20. You're supposed to be kicking off from the 40, so this is a 10, 20, 35-yard penalty along with a number of penalties. So you had probably
you have 100 yards of penalties.
7 yards or 6 or 7 penalties that equaled quite a bit of yardage.
And there's the kickoff, and it's going to go to Jupiter at the 45, and they'll get past midfield, right up the middle, trying to get through there as fast as he can. Tackled at the 34-yard line. So great field position for East Ascension as they're going to start this drive, 1st and 10.
Tyree Langley on the tackle.
So you see East Ascension setting up on offense, and it looks like you're going to have Johnson in the backfield with Troy Dunn. On 1st and 10, you've been seeing that rotation between between Johnson and Samuel. So they're going to say 33, 1st and 10.
And Dunn, he's been your quarterback this year and last year.
And he's coming out of the shotgun again. And they're going to give it right up the middle and bounces outside, gets about 3. That's Johnson. If you remember last year, Dunn was splitting time with Cullen Wheat. And then Cullen Wheat had the injury, separated his shoulder, broke his collarbone or something to that effect. And then he was done for the season. And this season, it's done. And that's all it is. So, he's got that leadership now, and he's a senior, and he's ready to prove something right here. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. And a handoff, right side, breaks a tackle, and bounces out of bounds. That's Johnson, and he's going to get about 3-4 more. So, Swag, that was, we're told, 5 unsportsmanlike penalties.
And I will say this, Jeff, that East Ascension, they're still easily in this game right here.
Yes.
I think this is a big possession that they need to get some points on the board.
Right, and depending on who got ejected, that could be a big play if it's who some of the players I suspect may have been guilty of the penalties, but we are yet to see that, and we do see Samuel in the game now.
Coach Lee's moved. I think Coach Lee, the play caller, moved the doubles in a little bit tighter. And we're getting a call timeout here.
Yeah, so a timeout has been called. And so we'll stay here. And let's talk. We talked about District 5A and the schools that are in 5A. And let's talk about their records right now. And really nothing to show because everybody basically had their game canceled. Catholic went out of state. So they were able to play, and so they are 1-0 on the season. And East Ascension getting their first game tonight, Dutchtown tomorrow night, Santa Monica Saturday night. So we're going to see some, hopefully some W's here on the board.
Yeah, and the really scary and crazy thing, Jeff, is I'm hearing that Hanville and Destrehan, which was right in the blunt end of the Ida storm, are going to be playing week 6, and that will be their first game of the year.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are like that down south.
Right. It's going to be they're in a tough situation because there's a lot more than football they need to worry about right now. 3rd and 6, done passes complete, and that is near first down. It's like right at the line. That's Brennan Thompson with the reception. And,
you have that great situation with Dunn. Nice release. Yard short, but, a little, very similar to what Scotlandville's doing on some nice little throws. It looks like a heavy package coming in for.
You see number 99 coming in, 99, Aiden Joseph, a sophomore defensive lineman, probably their fridge package going back to the 80s. But it's going to be 4th and 1, and let's see, he's going to line up.
He's in the backfield.
Yeah. They're going to let him have a little bit of momentum as we have a whistle, and I believe there may have been a problem there on the East Ascension, and it's going to make it 4th and 6. Are they going to call it? Are they going to call that on? Did they jump off sides?
I
thought there may have been a procedure.
Well, it was offsides.
Okay.
I saw the line judge right off the bat. Whenever you hear something happen, it's going to be, like you said, procedure, or that line judge. I saw him go straight to the hands on the hips.
The Scotlandville 19.
So that package comes out for the East Ascension Spartans, and here you got
that's
a tight end situation with trips to the field.
And Dunn and Samuel in the backfield. And Dunn's looking left all the way. He's got a receiver wide open. And did he put a knee down? He did not. He's got a first down.
Oh, very good balance out there by the wide out. It's hard to see that number from.
I believe that's Ja'Cory Mitchell.
Ja'Cory Mitchell.
That's right. It's Mitchell on the reception.
Tackle was made by Cameron Reed.
Having trouble seeing the replay on our end, but you saw the replay there. Not sure if his knee was on the ground or not. Knee was not on the ground, according to our director.
Well, you got two guys going deep, one guy going short, and you just kind of read that situation. Dunn did an outstanding job.
And we have a timeout called on the Scotlandville side. We'll keep it here with 46 seconds left. And let's just talk about what we've seen so far here, Swag. 14-0 our score. Scotlandville with the lead. And a couple of touchdowns on the Scotlandville end by Chance Williams. One on a kick return, one on a run. But they've looked good on offense, looked good on special teams, but they got lots of penalties.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm sure everybody will say needs to be cleaned up. And this is week one for everybody, so I'm not necessarily too concerned. And plus, you could clean this up real easily at halftime.
About half of these penalties are unsportsmanlike. You can clean that up quick.
Yeah, because as a coach, there are some things that you can do. You could do things right off the bat. You could bench some kids. It's pretty obvious with the unsportsmanlike. Some kid, somebody was ejected. And but when you look at this situation, boy, they're so smooth all the way going down on offense, and it's not really through the running game. But all of a sudden, they get a little handoff and a 9-yard pickup for a touchdown.
And I like what EA's doing because they're not getting caught up in all those shenanigans on the other side. They're just playing their game and they're trying to get back in it.
I think Coach Lee got there.
Although right there's a problem. High snap to Dunn.
Yeah, Dunn looked like he tried to handle it with that right hand, but just could not bring it in. And boy, I'm going to tell you what, that's a killer when you get down there close to that 10-yard line.
That's the second time that they've had a self-inflicted problem. On the first drive, you had the penalty. Then in this drive, you have the snap over the head. And now you got, what is it, going to be second and goal from the 24-yard line. That's hard to convert anytime.
Yeah, basically all you have is a down box operating over there between the chain gang. That means you got to score in order to, because you're not going to get an automatic first down.
Yeah. On second and goal, and Samuel's going to lose some yards on the final play of the first quarter. So it's going to be third and goal from the 25 when we get back. We'll take a break right here. Our score 14-0 Scotlandville over East Ascension. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
Back to the second quarter now. Our score 14-0, and it's going to be third and goal when we get back. And the thought that just entered my head, Swack, is you're going to see, could we see what we saw in that Sandoval game that we talked about earlier? We could see Jaquel Mack on that seam route right up the middle. That's how they scored to bring it into the second overtime in that game. And they're going to need something similar right here if they're going to get in the end zone.
Well, the big problem you have is this. is here the Spartans are on about the 27-yard line, and you got to get in the end zone. So you basically have 2 plays to get in the end zone if you want to go for a touchdown. If not, the big thing is, let them catch something underneath and tackle them, and just make sure it's kind of short. So we'll see. Here you got trips to the left.
And he's looking right. Now he's going to the corner, and 2 guys out there, and that's incomplete as it's just way overthrown over the head of the intended
And I think you
receiver.
have the same pass play that you had earlier that was caught and they able to make a big play, on the first down situation. They got him to the 10-yard line.
That was Brennan Thompson, the intended receiver. Now we're going to see a 44-yard attempt for the Spartans, and Evan Kern will make the attempt from the right hash. They're going to set it up at the 33, so it's going to be a 43-yard attempt. He's got a good leg. He's got a shot at this right here.
That right hash is a little tricky sometimes.
He's got it. It is there, and it is no good. It was close, but comes up just a bit outside. And so Scotlandville will take over, and they have a 14-0 lead. Their offense looked really good. They scored on their only offensive possession so far on a 10-yard run by Chance Williams. Now we'll see what they can do on their second drive of the night.
Well, let's just see
I'm wondering
if we could get 2 changes. Number 1, can East Ascension stop them? And number 2, if they don't, what's going to happen after this score for Scotlandville if that happens?
Yeah. Now, I don't see Chance Williams in the backfield. That's who I suspect was ejected. I can't say that for sure. So on first down, T-Set now in trouble, rolling out, throws, and a flag goes down as the pass is incomplete.
Well, that long play supposed to be like a little short hitch route right there, lineman downfield.
There's a flag on the play.
So the pass is ruled incomplete.
You could see you had 2 or 3 of them downfield, 3 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Right. So ineligible downfield appears to be the penalty. So I believe right now it's either Gunn or Langley in the backfield for Scotlandville. Gunn and Langley were splitting time with Williams. Now you got the one man in the backfield set up about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Then you got 2 split left, 2 split right. 1st and 15. And there's a handoff up the middle, cutting outside now, and good yardage, close to a first down.
Well, as a coach, you look at this situation, they lined up Jeff in doubles, but they were really wide, and that just kind of tells me right off the bat this is going to be a run play in between those wide receivers there.
Yeah, spread everything out, and that is Gunn, number 26 in the backfield, getting the 14-yard gain on first down. Now it's 2nd and 1, and now Gunn sets up to the right of T-Set. And quick pass and lots of room on a little bubble screen. Nearly trips, but gets the first down. And that's going to be number 4, John Hubbard, with the catch. So move the chains. Scotlandville gets a first down with 10:56 left to go.
And Jeff, that's interesting. 3rd and 1. And you throw that little.
Oh, it was 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1?
Yeah, because they had the ineligible downfield penalty on first down.
Okay.
So that 14-yard run was on first down. So they had a little opportunity to play around there with that 2nd down. And we have a sideline warning, I believe, that's going to be called.
No, sideline warning.
So it's warning to Coach Lee and his Spartans right there. And so we'll come back and start again, 1st and 10. So 3 receivers to the left as they work from the right hash. Gun in the backfield. All right, pass complete, and again, that's Hubbard. So Hubbard getting a lot of catches here early on, and 5 yards. Make that 4 yards, 2nd and 6 from the 40-yard line. Clock running now, 10 minutes left to go before halftime. So T-set at quarterback. Gunn now sets up to his right, 3 receivers left, 3 receivers right, and a whistle. Don't see a flag.
Well, they still had 4 seconds left on the play clock.
So let's say that a Spartan jumped off
5
sides.
yards for being offsides.
So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. It's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
After the penalty.
And when you have this 2nd and 1, which we had just a while ago, you can kind of do some interesting things. And a little play-action pass with the long ball down the field might be one of those things.
That's always a possibility. He's got a good arm. You've seen that already. He's throwing some bullets out there.
And the big thing he can do, boy, he could get, this is what they've been doing a lot, kind of moving right there on the snap. Nice right there, RPO.
Good slant catch there for another first down. That's number 18.
Boy, you could see the linebacker come, and boy, he pulled that thing and hit that slant just as perfect as you could ask right there.
So Kobe Guillory with his first catch of the night for the Hornets. This team has just lots of players, lots of athletes on the field that can do a lot of things. They're very impressive. 1st and 10 from the 43.
You see that movement by that tailback, and basically what they're trying to do is they have him, lined up in the backfield. Now they got a little stretch coming out here to the wide side of the field.
That's Gunn, and he gets about 3, taken down by 11. Keith Thomas with the tackle. Gain of 3.
Stop was made by Keith Thomas. Picks up
2nd and 7.
Well, you see big 75. Franklin right there. I mean, you see him on the right tackle, offensive tackle. And you know East Ascension's got some pretty good looking kids on that defensive front. This is a big human being right here on that offensive line.
Right. You got Franklin at 350, and you got Malcolm Ricard at 310. So they got 2 300-plus on that line. They're just big and powerful. 2nd down. Now they're going toward the end zone. Up for grabs. Incomplete. No flag. Good coverage there.
I think it was very good coverage.
Absolutely.
Well, step by step.
Antoine Foster.
My number 3, Brennan Thompson.
And these are the things I look at, Jeff. The ball is on the right hash, and he throws that ball all the way down the far sideline, all the way down, and basically that thing went close to 50 yards in the air.
It was a beautiful throw, but great coverage in the secondary for East Ascension. And so now a 3rd and 7. And this is where East Ascension's had a little bit of trouble trying to get them off the field on 3rd and 4th down.
This is where they run that outside play just a while ago.
And they get them down this time as a flag goes down, so hold the phone. Nice tackle there by number 33 for the Spartans, Ranjante Gustav. Let's wait and see. And it's going to bring up 4th down. They're going to decline this penalty most likely. Or are they? They're going to lose a yard on the play, so it's going to bring up 4th down and 8. And they will decline the penalty and bring up 4th down. So this may be the first punt situation for Scotlandville, but their offense has not left the field. they're going to go for it. Now we have a whistle. I believe they're going to reset the clock. 7:52 left to go before halftime. But they didn't flinch. They kept that offense on the field. I think they knew right away they were going for it.
Well, I mean, even their short passes, they're averaging 7 or 8 yards each time.
So shotgun. And Tisa going downfield, and it's overthrown. Had a receiver open, but overthrown by about 5 yards, not even close. And so
that was a good job by the Spartan defense right there.
Absolutely, good conversion there by the Spartans defense. The key was on that second down where he had the deep pass downfield broken up at the end zone. So good job by the East Ascension secondary on that series of downs right there, and they get the ball back for their offense. Their offense has moved the ball, Swack. They don't have any points, but that's mainly because they wind up making some really bad mistakes at the worst possible times. Penalties, snaps over the head. Let's see if they can correct that right here. So Dunn at quarterback. Quick throw. Dropped. Maybe trying to run before he got his hands on it.
That or it looked like was it batted down?
I'm not sure. I think he was just running before he got a hold of it. That's Brennan Thompson. So an incompletion is going to bring up second down. And if they can get some points on the board, they get the ball to start the second half. They're right in this ball game. Scotlandville has looked good, but if they can get it to a one-possession game, they could be in good shape right here. 2nd and 10 for East Ascension. Handoff up the middle, breaks through, gets about 8. As nice carry by Ja'Cory Johnson. So that'll give them an opportunity. Short yardage, third down. We're going to call it 3. They're going to say he's at the 48-yard line. They got to get past midfield, but not quite to the Scotlandville 49 to get that first down. Now approaching 7 minutes before halftime.
You got a third down and 3 right here. Receivers in tight.
And a rollout, pass complete, and first down. Breaks a tackle. Good job there by Johnson. And so he'll pick up about 6 on the play.
Oh, a nice play running back in the backfield. Out in the flat right there, picks up plenty of yards for the first down.
So you see checking into the game, number 23, another receiver, Joseph Hobby, as Jaquel Mack, who's been silent here so far, he's going to check out the game for a minute. 1st and 10.
Well, at halftime, we have newly appointed Principal Lauren Lambert Avery going to be with us for the East Ascension Spartans.
And on first down, a catch and a run, and that's the receiver we just talked about checking into the game, Joseph Hobby.
Well, if you could see the block on the outside by the slot receiver, totally outstanding.
Good point right there, Swag, absolutely. And so another first down, so 2 first downs through the air. And now East Ascension's moving again, and we are at the hydration break now. 5:59 left to go before halftime, and we'll keep it here, and we'll tell you a little bit about the upcoming games of the week. We're not quite sure what's going to happen because, as we said, kind of the schedule's fluid. And so, as we said, East Ascension has Destrehan on the schedule, but that's not going to happen. And you have Dutchtown and Covington that has not been confirmed yet. And, of course, Covington hit pretty hard as well.
You know, talking to Coach Lee last night, that it looks like they're going to play Brother Martin next week. Now, how you have so many schools in New Orleans cannot play, or maybe not even at school, but Brother Martin, who is one of your highly ranked schools that hasn't played yet, but they're ranked number 2 in the 5A poll this week. And Covington and all of your schools in the Tangipahoa Parish area right there, Mandeville area, they're all playing. So Covington looks like they're going to be rolling next week.
So
at Dutchtown.
Once we are confirmed on who's playing whom, we will get that schedule out to you as quickly as we can.
How about this one next week? Madison Prep and Woodlawn.
That's going to be a fun one. Two great quarterbacks, two great programs on the rise.
You had the same thing when they were playing St. Thomas More last week.
Exactly. Handoff up the middle, and that's good positive yardage. They're just running right up the gut of that guy you're talking about, Jarvis Miller, that big defensive lineman, as Samuel gets good yardage and a first down. So now they're down to the 23-yard line, so they've moved the ball on this Scotlandville defense. They're doing a good job, and they're doing it again. Got to get the ball in the end zone. Got to get some points on the board right here.
Scotlandville still in that 3-4 defense.
And little good job by the quarterback.
Hornets penalized 5
with the voice.
For offsides.
Got them to jump.
It'll be 1st and 5 for the Spartans.
And so
credit
that penalty on Troy Dunn. And it's going to be 1st and 5. So East Ascension trying to get it back to 14-6 or 7.
Well, here's Scotlandville coming out in pure man.
And there's Samuel, and he cuts in the middle, now makes a move. He's near the end zone, and he's getting pushed in, and he is down at the 1.
Tell you what, Samuel, along with that offensive line, did a heck of a job right there. Keep moving those feet, and got in there close to that goal line.
And so 1st and goal at the 1. Now East Ascension knocking on the door. And you see the fridge coming in.
The big boys.
Aiden Joseph going to check back in. Didn't get to use him because you had that offsides penalty. But let's see if they can run behind him on that left side. Looks like Dunn's going to step under center, though. And that looks like a little bit of confusion. And now he gets into the end zone. That's the fridge. Aiden Joseph. Check him out. That's going to fire up the crowd, Swag.
Well, that's going to fire up that sideline also. The big man. Now, this is how you're supposed to celebrate a score right here.
Absolutely.
Get to the sideline, get with your teammates and coaches.
Yeah.
Not real sure how the fridge got there because Scotlandville had some penetration right there. And the fridge might have just said, oh, I'll pick this up and go on in.
Absolutely. Now Kern to kick the extra point. But first, we have a whistle. Offsides.
Offsides, Hornets.
They have to be about 11 or 12 penalties into this at this point.
That doesn't get cleaned up, and I'm going to just tell you that quarterfinal game may not get to be a quarterfinal game this year.
Absolutely.
Evan Kern set for the PAT.
Very important to get it to 14-7 right here. It's up and good. 14-7, 4:58 left to go before halftime. We'll take a break. You're watching the Eatel Game of the Week.
Scotlandville Hornets 14.
You want to do some of this stuff right here?
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
14-7, East Ascension fighting back with the touchdown.
A nice drive there by the Spartans.
1 yard run by Aiden Joseph caps it off.
And to me, the difference maker is this. You know, they look like the first two plays of this game where They picked up about 20 yards on some two nice runs, and they got after it. Samuel's right there. Really did an outstanding job. And you also have Ja'Cory Johnson, an outstanding job running the ball and picking up some nice yardage, getting in that end zone.
Right, and Walter Samuel had a couple of nice plays. Just a great drive all around. Now Kern's going to kick off. They've already scored once on a kickoff return, but they're not going to get it there. Back deep to receive, but it's a touchback. You had Langley and Gunn back to receive, but they could not get to it. Now it's 1st and 10 for Scotlandville. And so 4:58 left to go. A three and out right here would be big for the East Ascension defense. They've got a little momentum right here. They stopped Scotlandville on downs on their previous possession, and then they got the ball, drove right down the field with no trouble at all, and got into the end zone. We got ourselves a ball game right now, Swack.
Well, to me, this is what I want to see. The sidelines was inspired on the score. Of course, it was the big man scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big thing. How is it going to affect the Spartan defense here?
Well, you see the big man who scored the touchdown, Joseph, now set up a nose tackle. As on first down, a nice job tripping up the line, the running back, and short gain. Kendrick Broussard, I believe, is in on the tackle, 1 yard gain. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Broussard picks up 2nd down, 9 for the Hornets.
So 1 yard, and you see Joseph checking out, replaced by another big man on that line.
Wide side of the field to the right.
And a fake and a pass. Oh, that's way short. Closest guy to that was number 27 for the Spartans, Lamar Bolden. And so maybe East Ascension's got Scotlandville a little rattled right here. With this,
it was a nice read right there by the corner. Looked like they were going to, might have been an RPO where they had the fake, they pulled it up and they hit the slant, but the receiver was not involved in the slant pattern right there and almost picked off.
So now 3rd down and 9. And shotgun rollout and pass up for grabs. And it goes through one receiver, goes through a couple of East Ascension defenders, and nearly grabbed by number 12, Brandon Hutchinson, but it falls harmlessly.
Hutchinson said, there's no way that ball's getting to me, and it almost did.
Went through about 5 people to get to him, though. But falls incomplete, and there's the 3 and out. Now
there's your 3 and out, Coach.
4-17. They got a shot here, and they can get the ball in the end zone here. And like I said, they get the ball to start the second half. They deferred after they won the coin toss.
And so it looks like they had like a little flood pattern right there, and it just went through, and East Ascension was right on target. You could see here, right around midfield.
So Kendrick Broussard is the punt returner, set up at his own 46-yard line. And a whistle, and there's confusion on the Scotlandville side. And a delay.
Well, now we're really going to be on the midfield.
Yep.
And so is this going to be – it's not going to be the kicker. This is going to be just the punter kicking the ball. And
I think they were one player short, as you see another guy coming in now. Jeremiah Bell. Oh, no, so they
about
did
35 yards deep.
This is their first punt of the ball game.
Well, it looks like these Spartans are not going to rush this thing.
Oh, that is knocked away and takes – that nearly touched the foot of a Spartan, but that was a shank. And so we're going to get a 5-yard punt.
5-yard punt, and I'm going to tell you, probably about 500 revolutions of that ball.
Yeah, I was worried that one of the Spartans standing at the line of scrimmage, it was going to touch his foot. It came within like a foot.
And look, let me just tell you, Jeff, you can coach this stuff up to the nth degree, but you're going down on a punt return, or you're at the line of scrimmage, you just got blocked, and something like that happens, and that could just be a misfortune. But it wasn't the night. Gator, you're sitting right here with the Spartans having the ball.
And a little trick play, and there's room to the 15, to the 11, and that is Hobby on the little end around. And so they get about 10 yards. That should be enough for a first down. And
picks up 9.
they're going to say he's a yard short.
I tell you what, well-designed play right there. Coach Lee with the little fake on the dive, and then the hidden wing back on the reverse right there. And you thought he might be going for the distance there for a second, Jeff.
Yeah. And that's a Hobby. He's a young guy, and he's come in the last couple of possessions, and he's made some big plays as a young sophomore. And there's the first down as Johnson will get it down inside the 10, and so 3:13 left to go, first and goal.
The East Ascension running backs, their feet are so quick right there. They're avoiding tackles.
At the Hornet 8-yard line.
So first and goal for East Ascension.
And we have Jupiter was.
Yeah, that was Jupiter on that previous play. My apologies. That was not Hobby. That was Jupiter.
Well, here's everybody lined up at that line of scrimmage.
And a flag comes down. And we're going to push the Spartans back 5 yards.
Boy, and that's a big 5 yards right here. But you saw what they did last possession right there. Those quick handoffs right there, and they were able to make some big plays and eventually score a touchdown.
Ball is at the 13, first and goal. They still have a shot here. They did wind up in a situation similar to this in the first quarter. After the ball was snapped over the head, they wound up with a 4th and goal from the 27. Hopefully that will not happen here as a fake and into the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown. And we're down to a 1-point game. Ja'Cory Mitchell with the catch. 2:30 left to go here before
a double
halftime.
move, Jeff.
Yes.
A double move right there. Nice little patience by the receiver on the outside. And then the real big play is how he maneuvered around in order to get in front of that defensive back to score the touchdown. Nice catch.
14-13. And the extra point coming from Kern. Could have a tie ball game here, folks. It's up. Tie game.
Well, that was a nice kick, and you can see Kern all the way back almost to the fence on that extra point.
So we're tied, and we will take a break. 14-14 is our score. You're watching the Eatel High School football game of the week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
And we're back, and it's 14-14, and East Ascension has fought all the way back and tied this game, and will kick it off. And back deep to receive will be Marlon Gunn and Kyle Langley.
And tomorrow night we'll be right back here with Evangel and Dutchtown.
And it's bounced, and it goes into the end zone, and it's a touchback because it went into the end zone. Doesn't matter how it got there. So one of the young guns for East Ascension, sophomore receiver Ja'Cory Mitchell, they have some guys to replace from that last season's team. You had lots of guys that had done a lot of things over the years, and they needed to be replaced.
And let me tell you, that is a nice thought right here given to what East Ascension's had to do. Like, you didn't get much 7-on-7 this summer. Mm-hmm. Got some. Didn't get much JV football last year. Got some. And so East Ascension has replaced some of their named offense and defensive players.
Yeah, you lose guys like Goodlow and Novell Chopin and Cale Babin, and now these new guys are coming in. And on first down, pass is complete, and there's some room to run before he stood up.
You know, they call that the little tunnel screen, the little slip screen. And well designed right there, but a great job there defensively by the Spartans, picking that up for only holding them to an 8-yard gain.
So that's Ty Andre Hayes that made the tackle, stood him up at the 29-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 2, and they're in the hurry up, and it's complete for first down. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and then stood up and knocked down. Good hard tackle right there as it stops the clock with 1:51. Scotlandville's used their timeouts. I believe they may have one left. They may have one left, but I'm not sure. First and 10 for
I don't think they have any according to the scoreboard.
Okay, there you go. So pass is complete and another first down. So they're moving quickly down the field. That's Hubbard with the catch.
Yeah, they're moving quickly, and I would like to see maybe that defensive coverage for the Spartans a little bit tighter, because Scotlandville has shown they're going to throw the ball 5 and 6 yards and let those athletes get additional yardage.
And so now you got the empty backfield, 5 receivers.
You can see over there into that sideline. You know, you're 7 or 8 yards off.
And a shotgun. And the quarterback complete.
There's the throw.
And they gave him a little 5-yard cushion there as Braden Robinson.
You know, and the thing you have to watch for is slipping behind.
Yeah.
You know, that cornerback over there, or that double move. And look, they've been working this all into the sideline right here, an empty formation, trips to the field.
And a whistle, and East Ascension will call a timeout.
You know, East Ascension, you know, somehow if they could get some help over the top where they can move, you know, those short defenders a little bit tighter on each of those receivers.
And so during this break, we'll take a look at the games that were or mostly weren't played last week. As we said, Catholic High went over to Maryland. They went out and beat a school from Maryland by a score of 38-10. All the other games were canceled. Carver at Sanamaw, North Shore at Dutchtown. North Shore and Dutchtown have been trying to play for years, and it keeps on getting canceled just because of COVID or other things. EA and Zachary, of course, that was canceled. McKinley and Scotlandville, they were canceled. Jesuit at Woodlawn was canceled. That would have been a fun game to watch right there.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So there were some good games in that first week
and
that you had to miss.
You know, Saturday you have Sanamaw and Walker playing right here at Dutchtown. And a great rivalry game here, McKinley and Capital Thursday night. Tonight, Acadiana at Catholic. That's a big one.
So second.
And Woodlawn and U-High, that's another big one.
Yep. 2nd and 2, and quarterback T-Set dancing around, now throws, and it's short. And another, again, the closest guy was a East Ascension defender. So he's got his dancing shoes on back there. He's got happy feet, and he's going to run around all over the place.
And those feet, T-Set is quick.
Yes.
He's fast and he's quick.
Clock has stopped at 1:25, by the way. 3rd and 2. Hand off, and that's a first down and more. Down inside the 26-yard line. That's Gunn, Marlon Gunn Jr. He's been carrying the load here in this second quarter almost exclusively. So 1st and 10.
Still got plenty of time. I know no timeouts, but still got plenty of time.
And a quick pass complete. And a nice broken tackle and about a 5-yard gain as that catch made.
Well, you know, both of these teams are in the same mode right here, Jeff.
Yeah.
You can throw anything short, and it could be a long gain easily for either one of these teams.
Right. That was Hubbard on the catch.
And I'm wondering, when are they going to come to the deep side right here, the wide side of the field, and here they are.
And Gunn gets inside the 10, down to the 8 with 41 seconds left, and did not go out of bounds, so the clock will stop as they move the chains, but they may be calling a penalty right here, and it's going to come back. So it's going to be negated. It's a hold.
Holding against the Hornets.
Well, that should be a spot foul.
Let's see where they are going to mark it from.
Oh, there it is, almost at the end of the play. So it should come out here to the 20.
It might be very area. Similar. Yeah, they had a 2nd and 7. Now they got a 2nd and 6.
So this is what I like about this situation. Now they're on the right hash.
Yes.
And you have the same situation empty. Are you going to throw the short passes into this sideline right here?
They are resetting the play clock. I believe they're ready to go. It's not moving at the moment.
So you know the clock stops tentatively on first downs. Stops until the next snap on timeouts and out of bounds.
Not sure what's going on here. The play clock has not begun. Now the play clock has begun. And the game clock is running as well. 39 seconds. Now pass down to the 10. First down, and that's it. As catch made by Marlon Thomas.
First down, that clock's going to stop with 26.
Pass is complete to Marlon Thomas.
Well, the clock's still running.
Well, yeah, the white hat right here calls timeout finally on the first down.
Yeah, they I believe they may have missed the clock stoppage right there. They will probably correct that and put 2-3 seconds back on the clock.
So, Jeff, you run the football in this situation?
I doubt it.
And because that 21 seconds, unless they're going to put additional time on the clock, that 21 seconds could go off pretty quick.
Yeah. Clock at 29 now, so they added about 7 seconds. Now the clock running, 28.
Yeah, still got empty right here.
And T-set right side, caught at the 10, down to the 1, and clock will stop as he gets a first down. So it's going to be first and goal at the 1 with 18 seconds left. So now this is a position where you can probably do either one right here, Swack, right? You could run it. You could have T-set do a little run pass option. You got lots of options right here.
Well, I'm going to say they're going to run right behind the big man on the right side here.
And he stopped, and second effort is in.
Touchdown Hornets.
He's in with 7 seconds, so you called it there. That's why you're the coach. That's why you won all those games.
I tell you what, boy, the Spartans need to stop them right there. You know, that could have been the start because, look, East Ascension is going to get the ball to start the second half. They're going to get the ball right here with 7 seconds left. I'm sure it's going to be a squib kick, but you never know. Athletes get that ball, anything could happen.
Extra point. Good. So 7 seconds, we will take a break right here as it's 21-14, Scotlandville with the lead. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
21-14, Scotlandville with the lead right before halftime. Jeff Porsche and David Swacker out here at Griffin Field for the East Ascension home opener. Kind of unusual saying that, but we'll be out here tomorrow night for a Dutchtown season opener at Griffin Field.
And then on Saturday is going to be a Sanoma season opener
at Griffin Field.
And they'll be playing Walker. And of all things, Dutchtown is playing Evangel. Evangel, usually when they travel over the past years, and not very much as of lately, they're usually passing by Dutchtown and Santa Monica East Ascension, headed to that dome down there in New Orleans. But it's been a change of tune for Evangel here as of the last couple of years.
Right. It's not the Josh Booty Evangel teams anymore. And a whistle, of course. Lots of penalties in there.
Well, that's one thing that we thought should have been called just a while ago on the first kickoff for Scotlandville. And the referee did a good job blowing the play dead with your offensive offsides.
And just a little reminder, since we were talking about the Dutchtown Evangel game, just like you can watch this live streaming on YouTube, you can catch the game and all of our games live on YouTube. If you want to do the YouTube search, go to Eatel Sports and you'll find the links over there, and that's where we're going to be tomorrow.
And you can also catch interview with East Ascension principal Lauren Lambert Avery
at
halftime.
As there's a kickoff, and it's taken by Jupiter. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, and that's about it. Gets to the 42-0 on the clock. And so let's see if we can get to halftime without a penalty.
Xavier Jupiter on the return.
I think we are. And it is halftime. And so an interesting first half. Scotlandville with 14, then East Ascension fights back, ties the game, but then a touchdown near the end of the quarter, and now Scotlandville retakes the lead, 21-14. So we'll take a break. SWAC's going to interview the principal, and I'm going to take a little break here, and I'll come back for the third quarter. 21-14 our score. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
Daily routines change, but the land stays the same. There's ground to cover, a herd to feed, and you still have to make it back in time to get a clean start on tomorrow. So run with us on a John Deere Gator, because being linked to the land means the work never stops. Nothing runs like a deer.
At Ascension Equipment, save more today and mow tomorrow.
You care about your car. So do we. Donaldsonville Glass and Body has been around for over 40 years, providing unparalleled collision repairs and customer service, especially when you and your car are having the worst day ever. When you demand exceptional workmanship, call Donaldsonville Glass and Body. Free pickup for your collision repairs and get it back as good as new. It's your choice, so why not choose the best? Donaldsonville Glass and Body.
If you believe in me, I'll be the first one in our family to graduate college.
I'll be the one to change our history of diabetes.
I'll live a healthy life.
If you believe in me, I'll know my worth is more than face value.
I'll be stronger than a weak heart. I'll know 68 pounds carries weight in this world.
If you believe in me,
I'll believe in myself.
Belief in our children can change their future. Our Lady of the Lake Children's Health.
Piku Builder Supply, your one-stop lumberyard, provides an extensive selection of quality building supplies for your new construction and remodeling. We offer computer-aided estimating of your building and remodeling plans, as well as blueprint copies. From humble beginnings to becoming the industry leader in Gonzales and beyond, Piku proudly supports our local community because we believe in giving back to those who have had a hand in our success. Let the experts at Piku Builder Supply help you with your new project today.
is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Here we are back at Dutchtown Field, halftime score of 21, Scotlandville 14, East Ascension. And we have on the field the East Ascension Marching Band.
The Pride of EA Director is Charles Lee. Assistant Director, David J. Gambino. Assistant to the Assistant Director, Alexis Mistro. Color Guard Instructor, Suzanne Blanchard. And make sure to visit the band boosters at the concession stand for your snacking needs. And we'll see you next time.
Here we are back at halftime with the Eatel Game of the Week. I have with me Lauren Lambert Avery. Lauren, a few months ago, they named you principal at East Ascension High School.
Yes,
so
sir.
How many years in education?
This is 22.
22. I can remember when you were a freshman, sophomore, and a junior at Santa Monica High School.
Absolutely.
But that only means I'm getting older, okay? So you took Tracy McCorkle, I'm sure a very good friend of yours,
Yes,
and
sir.
you know who moved on into the administration at the school board office. So tell me, how did it get started for you? You applied for the job, you interviewed for the job, you know, basically a standard thing. So who gave you the call to let you know that you've been selected?
Actually, Miss Edwards, who is our director, walked in and walked into my office. She's our director of secondary ed, and said, I just wanted to be the first person to tell you, you know, congratulations on being the principal at East Ascension High School. And, you know, to say that I was ecstatic is probably an understatement. I'm absolutely thrilled to be in this role. It is such an amazing community to be able to serve and work with. And I would probably be a little remiss if I didn't say that I was a little nervous as well. I mean, this is such a huge responsibility, this role, and the expectations and what goes along with it. But I am absolutely humbled to be able to serve this amazing community. You know, EA, there's just something really special about it.
You know, and I hear this from my wife, and we were at Santa Monica just like you, and Allison and Kim. I mean, you know, all these years, and I mean, just the greatness of East Ascension. And, you know, you said a lot of great things right there, you know, just how, you know, you should feel right here. And it, you know, it's a big responsibility. There's no doubt about it. But, boy, you know, the thing I would tell you is I would sometimes I tell the quarterbacks, you know, when this is all said and done, we're going to get all the credit and all the blame. And so.
Well, Ms. McCorkle was very quick to tell me that everybody always loves the backup quarterback until they get called into the game. So
Exactly.
that I needed to be ready. So we have joked about that quite a bit.
Yes, it's a great thought right there. So I know you have to have a plan here. You know, it's almost like a game plan at a football game, or maybe a game plan for a season for a team. So what are some things like goals that you are looking at as far as what are some things that you would like to get done. Because as a head coach, you say, I can get this done, or I might not get it done. It just depends on whether the principal says yes or no.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you have that great working relationship. So what are some things that you're looking at trying to get done?
Well, I'm really lucky that I have fallen into a role that has had such great leadership before it for years and years, and there is such a strong tradition of excellence at East Ascension. So, you can never rest on your laurels, and you don't have the luxury of not wanting to push forward and make things better. But I'm super lucky that I was able to walk into a situation that is definitely moving in the right direction and has been doing that for 55 years. Our main goal on our campus right now is to continue to push kids academically, to make sure that they are college and career ready, and also to be able to support their social and emotional learning. And so I think it's a combination of all those things. This year we have talked a lot about looking inwardly and looking at truly who we are as East Ascension, as students, as teachers, as secretaries and custodians, and everybody that's on our campus, and what we can do to not only better ourselves, but better the school and to better the community. And so we've talked about, being great and where using that whole mindset with a productive struggle, and how do we grow and become better and not compare ourselves necessarily to other schools or other places, but just in encouraging and making sure that every day we are improving upon the day before.
Because we are what?
Because we are EA.
There you go. Okay. And so all of a sudden, you become, and the good thing about it, you become principal, and you get to work the summer, and,
yes.
and prepare things. And then all of a sudden we get back to school and things are rolling along, and then all of a sudden this hurricane comes through, and it really caught, I think, some people maybe by surprise or whatever. I know there's some construction going on. How has this affected this hurricane, the construction, and just exactly what you have right now at school?
Well, I drove off of campus, and it had been 2 weeks and 3 days in this, official role as principal on a campus, and I kind of giggled at the thought that this could become, the most historic hurricane to hit Ascension Parish or Louisiana. And again, that nervousness and daunting task of, how do we do these in these next steps? But I'm very proud and very appreciative. We had a lot of great leadership with Ascension Parish School Board. We were prepared for it as best any school could be. Unfortunately, we did have some damage, particularly to some of the T buildings that were in the back of the school, as well as some damage to the baseball and softball fields. And so we've just worked with it. Over this past week, we've had lots of interesting interactions that have taken place, where we've had tons of support personnel on campus, checking campus, making sure that everything is ready for us to open our doors. And we are so excited to be able to open the doors tomorrow to our students. We were chomping at the bit to let them do it today, and we just needed one more day to make sure everything was safe and ready.
Definitely. And any idea of the percentage, because that's always the when you have these hurricanes, these storms, people take off,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes they don't come back. They stay in Dallas or Houston or Shreveport or whatever. You have any idea or thoughts on approximately how many students you can't find right now? Or
so we're still working on that. We spent the better part of 2 days reaching out to students. Our teachers were calling, administrators, secretaries. It was pretty much all hands on deck, with the intent that we want to make sure that our students are okay, physically, emotionally, that their homes are safe, that they have what they need. So to have an actual number at this point, I'm not sure. I think when we left school on Tuesday, we had gotten in touch with about 700 kids. So, as far as Wednesday and Thursday, those numbers just increased. So I'm really proud of the connection that we have with the community, that there was those open lines of communication, and that students feel like they can tell us, I need help, or these are the things that are happening to me right now. So, again, that idea of having a true community support where everybody is working together, it has been obvious.
And so we haven't been really at school since the hurricane at East Ascension, but have you noticed the fans of the students down here?
Yeah, so I've been meeting with the student section all summer. So Jamie Andrews is phenomenal. People say that almost everyone is replaceable, and Jamie Andrews is not replaceable.
Just kind of talk a little bit about Jamie.
So Jamie is a little firecracker that never burns out. She organizes more things than can be mentioned at school, everything from school spirit to leading projects where we are adopting other schools, or we've even gone into places where we've adopted schools in other countries. She's been meeting with these students all summer. They have very clear expectations for what they can do, what they can't do. When it comes to the themes, how they handle themselves. They were extremely instrumental in purchasing the new run-through, which I hope that y'all got some good video of the new run-through.
Well, we were thinking that if you put that like right over the center, that the East Ascension defense could shut them down right off the bat.
Absolutely. They did a lot of the fundraising for that, but all that was Jamie's idea. But she gives them the ability to be creative, but also guides them to make sure that they, still stay in line and do what they are supposed to do. So it's like no other. People say all the time that our student section, is one that is, often imitated, but never duplicated. And I think that's probably the case.
And we might say, Jamie's the daughter of Coach Larry
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So kids are coming back tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Does Jamie say we're going to have a pep rally tomorrow or something?
We're actually not having a pep rally tomorrow. We actually were trying to have one this past week, and since we weren't at school, we didn't do it. So we had all kind of things planned for an outdoor pep rally. So I think our next big pep rally will probably be for homecoming, which is against Dutchtown. And I guess we'll see where we play that game, depending on whether the Spartans have some turf or not.
Jeff Pyron will be on with us tomorrow to talk about, the turf at the Donaldsonville and Santa Ma and East Ascension. And, we'll see. And, some of the things are completely out of his hand, but the storm
the storm definitely pushed us back.
Yes,
definitely pushed us back.
It was brutal, and we're not just talking about turf. We're talking about a lot of things. But when you say all the stuff that you're taking on other schools and other countries, I'm not knocking that you don't learn that in math and maybe in English or science or whatever. But this is a huge deal. And when you talk about career, whether it be college career or some type of educational career or, going to the ABC school. There are so many things that Ascension Parish has to offer our kids. And what a great place to live right here on the river.
Absolutely.
There's so many activities going on.
We talk to our students all the time about just the amazing amount of opportunities that are there for them to earn college credits or to take, vocational classes for free. The opportunities that are available for students in Ascension Parish are like no other. And, I definitely think that's why you've had this huge draw of, an influx of population. They talk about in the past 20 years. Well, how could anybody not want to come and be part of Ascension Parish schools?
There is no doubt about that. And, of course, our leader there, David Alexander, who has come through the system here in Ascension Parish and has done an outstanding job. So good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
I think
we're so excited.
I think everybody's going to be fired up. I know the kids are, and whether anybody knew it or not, they knew we had a game tonight. They knew East Ascension had a game tonight, and had done a tremendous job. And Lauren, I know. You have a great administrative staff because my wife told me that to say that. But
absolutely,
you have a great teaching corps, and the students are outstanding. And I think this is going to be, yours to build into the future of what's going to be happening for the EA Spartans in years to come. And thank you very much for coming by, and hopefully we can get that turf on the field
Absolutely.
for all the other schools. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
That was Lauren Lambert Avery, first-year principal at East Ascension High School. And we will be back with our second half kickoff in just a moment after a word from one of our sponsors.
Welcome back. We've missed you. We know it's been tough. Because rebuilding your business isn't for the faint of heart. Your business needs a jump start. And we're here to help. Introducing Surge, symmetrical speed fiber internet from Eatel Business. Revved up data speeds at 30% off, plus 3 months free. We're glad you're back, and we're here to make your business surge.
And we're back, and I'm back, Jeff Porsche, with the talkative one, Coach Swack. Great interview, Swack, and you're going to have another one tomorrow night, so keep those vocal cords ready and have Jeff Pyron, like you said. And we're going to talk more about the field and the turf situation next game.
And Jeff and I talked a little bit about it pre-game. He came up here with his son, and we were just chatting. Jeff goes back a number of years, played on the offensive line, was a deep snapper for us. And his sons have continued being highly involved in special teams over here at Dutchtown. But, he's pushing these people as hard as he can. But this hurricane has put a serious hurt, on a lot of folks here in Louisiana. And so hopefully, we'll see what news he's got tomorrow, and we'll talk to him at halftime.
Yeah, and we're just lucky and fortunate that we do have the one field that we can share while this is all going on. And we're ready for the second half now. And so let's get that started. And Montgomery, the kicker, the guy who made the 50-yard extra point earlier, so he's got a heck of a leg.
I remember playing Gonzales Middle, and they got a number of penalties, and they made a 55-yard two-point conversion.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Jupiter's got a huge
right
hole, though.
through the hole.
Look at that. He's past midfield. He's down to the 40 and then wrestled down hard by number 3 for Scotlandville.
Jeff, the holes, the openings right
here. That was
here.
Incredible.
And Jupiter, just went through them like it was just wide open. Impressive job right there by Jupiter. And look.
I think Aiden Joseph, 99, could have got through that hole. That was a huge hole right there. And they're going to call him down at the 40.
Well, and look, let me just tell you. I just believe truly that there's so important momentum in this game. And you would think that, right what happened at the end of the first half with Scotlandville scoring.
Right.
But the good thing is they didn't get the ball to start the second half. East Ascension did. Nice little return by Jupiter. And here the Spartans start first and 10 from their 40-yard line.
And here we go with Samuel on first down, the whistle, and this play will not get underway.
If the RPO, I'm a firm believer in this. And, I'm just watching this and watching how the linebackers are attacking that line of scrimmage. And hopefully some quick little slant shots right there could be wide open for the Spartans.
Their offense was moving both through the air and on the ground, so they definitely can keep this defense on their toes. And the thing I liked about East Ascension was they never panicked. They're playing a team with lots and lots of talent, but they just stayed within themselves, didn't get nervous, and let themselves get right back in this ball game, and they got a shot to tie it up here. And now Dunn, he's got the run-pass option. He's going to run with it. He's going to get the penalty yards back and maybe another yard or two. So that's going to be good coverage there in the secondary as they drop back, as they had some guys running toward the end zone. But
I'm reinventing the wheel right here, but boy, they faked off of that pistol look and bootleg to the right, and Samuel was running right down his sideline. I don't even know why. I just created a monster here that he was going to just pull up and throw right down his sideline for a score. But, of course, that wasn't part of the play.
And so now it's 2nd and 9 from the 39. And
now it looks like East Ascension kind of went on a little different snap count. Let's see where this running back's going to line up right to the.
And we have a whistle. The play clock ran out. And so I believe we're going to get a delay of game.
Oh, these 5
timeout
yards
has been called, actually.
Timeout start.
Yeah, so they avoid the 5-yard penalty, which could be crucial right now when they're on that side of the field. You can't just give up those yards.
Somebody said, well, man, you don't want to use a timeout. Yes, you do. I mean, this right here is, like you said, a crucial situation with a 2nd down, and you got about, basically 9 yards. And you got the wide side of the field here over to the East Ascension sideline. And so maybe a little bootleg, maybe a little sprint out action. With their running backs, they can surely hand the ball off and get 9 yards. They've done that already a few times tonight.
So they can definitely convert a 2nd and 9 a lot easier than a 2nd and 14. And as you were saying, and you kind of insinuate there, if you don't convert here and you just kind of give that up and then you punt to Scotlandville with their offensive talent and that quarterback, T-Set, who's just outstanding, they go down and score, and it's a 2-possession game. It might be over.
Yeah, Samuel's in here with Dunn in the backfield.
High snap, but he gets it, and he throws it up the middle, and Mac drops it. He was in traffic right there, 3-4 guys.
Well, that was a nice play because that was a Santamon overtime play right there.
Exactly.
Except it was from the 40-yard line and not from inside the 5.
Yes.
Scotlandville, outstanding job of covering that one.
Exactly. They had 3-4 guys just completely encircling him right there, as didn't have a chance, and it's 3rd and 9. With 10:51, we're just starting this third quarter, 21-14. Scotlandville has the lead. 3rd down, now Dunn. Looking left all the way, throws deep, and it's up for grabs, and it is picked off. And an interception.
Boy, that was thrown into a pile of white shirts.
Right, that was up for grabs, and number 10, Damian Knighton, makes the interception. And so that's the, I believe, first turnover of the night on either side. Interception by Dunn, and he kind of telegraphed that pass. His eyes were focused on that part of the field the entire time.
I think it's been the 2 or 3 times they've run it. Sometimes they call it the smash route, where you got a little hitch on the outside, and then you got a corner on the inside, and you're trying to read that outside defender. And Scotlandville's done a very, very good job of stopping the long pass, but East Ascension has completed the short outside pass one time where he broke a tackle and picked up 10 yards on the play.
Well, the thing that you got to think about here too is that worked just about like a punt. As it went about 15 yards downfield, the ball's at the 21-yard line.
Very good point right there.
So it didn't hurt them that badly. 1st down, run up the middle, and wrapped up by 3 defenders. So good job. Looks like number 36, Sidney Joseph made the tackle there.
I'm telling you, outside, a very, very good job of coming down by that outside backer.
Looks like Antoine Foster, number 1, is down, and you have a trainer already out there checking him out. It looks like it may be a cramp, from what I can tell, possibly. They're stretching him out, and
well, anytime you're dealing with that leg extended and you're pushing the toes downward towards the helmet, you're trying to relieve a little pressure off that calf muscle.
Well, while they try to get him off the field, we'll take a short break. You're watching the Eatel Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet. Wash and Roll Express Car Wash. Austin Fire Systems. SKR Construction. Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
And so we're back, and Foster, you can see him, looks like probably just a cramp getting him off the field now, and Scotlandville is ready to go as soon as he can get him off the field. 10:25 left to go. It's 21-14. It's going to be 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. In the backfield, since the first quarter, you've seen number 26, Marlon Gunn, pretty much exclusively as their setback, and they got him in that position. Now they move him a little bit to the right of the quarterback. And a quick pass. Oh, and it's behind and dropped. He should have. It hit his shoulder pad, his left shoulder pad, and but he could have picked that up. Hubbard incomplete.
And a little play action pass right there, maybe an RPO. You know, you're looking to hand the ball off right there. See a little movement by the linebackers towards the line of scrimmage. Got a nice little throw right there. Should have been caught.
Yeah, you've seen a couple of those plays on both sides where you're running before you get that ball in your hands, and that's what happened right there. 3rd and 10. Quick pass, and it's incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down. So a 3 and out. I believe that's Knighton.
Pass intended for Knighton.
I'm not a big fan of that play.
He would have had to. He would have had to make a lot of moves and break about 3 or 4 tackles to get something there.
With the long pass, you got time, plenty of time for the Spartans to rally over there to make a play if the ball is caught.
So that interception really doesn't hurt East Ascension. Like I said, it kind of worked like a punt.
I think we have a new punter in the game.
I certainly hope so. I think that's the kicker, actually, Montgomery.
And that guy's impressive.
Yeah.
And very consistent, too.
Just don't let him put it on a tee. Let's see what he can do just from the upright position.
Somebody came in late.
That's the thing about this Scotlandville team that I've noticed, and that's where I give a lot of credit to Coach Darnell Lee and East Ascension. They just stay in the game, and they're letting Scotlandville make their own mistakes, and because Scotlandville keeps on shooting themselves in the foot with penalties and bad decisions, and East Ascension's just sitting there taking advantage of them.
Yeah, and I have to say this. I mean, because you have the same situation at East Ascension, maybe at Scotlandville also. You heard Miss Avery talk about they're just coming back to school. Electricity on and off yesterday. They're just coming back to school. I don't know where Scotlandville's been at Baton Rouge when it comes to whether they've had power, how much practice they've had.
Yeah.
But everybody's having some issues like this.
And they've got a great coach. I mean, when you talk about Lester Ricard, he's 14-4 as a timeout's being called right now. 14-4, and he has college football experience. He's been a quarterback at Tulane. He was recruited by Nick Saban. I mean, he knows, and he's been around big names and good programs. But tonight they're just making a lot of just sloppy penalties and just things that they should be avoiding. To be frank.
Sloppy penalties, but I'm going to tell you what, the quarterback's for real.
Yeah.
He can hum that rock right there, and wherever you're throwing it or handing the ball off, you have somebody that can make a play.
Yeah. If they can correct these mistakes, they're going to be dangerous. But when they make these mistakes, they let teams back in the ball game, and that's what they're doing with East Ascension right here. That it looked like they were going to run away with things in the first quarter with that 14-0 lead, and they looked really impressive. But since then, East Ascension's been playing better football.
The difference in this game is a kickoff return.
Right. East Ascension's playing very good football. And that's a little slow snap, but a good punt compared to what we have seen. The last punt from the previous punter was 5 yards. That's going to make it about 33, 34 on the bounce. So they're going to get the ball in their own side of the field. You would have expected East Ascension to maybe start in Scotlandville territory there, but they do not. So it's a good punt. It was aided by a good bounce.
Well, you have a situation. Now, this is the second situation in a row here in this third quarter, second half for Coach Darnell Lee. Right around midfield both times.
So here we go with Dunn and handoff, broken tackle, but maybe a yard, as that's Ja'Cory Johnson. We've seen him split time with Samuel, and Samuel's coming back in the game on second down.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that's two guys right there that could be big for the Spartans this year.
Right. You lose Cale Babin and Kendall Washington from last year, but they've got a couple of guys. And Samuel was a good running back last year, so he's not inexperienced, but Ja'Cory Johnson stepping to the scene here and as a junior and doing pretty well. Another high snap. That's the second one. Samuel picks this one up, and he's trying, but he can't do anything with it. That's just that center quarterback exchange, and that's the second time tonight that's just done damage, bad damage to a drive.
Well, as an offensive line guy, that is frustrating because basically they've gotten under center twice tonight. Everything else has been out of the shotgun, and you just cannot. You cannot have one of those bad snaps. Luckily, they've been able to recover, but here this thing is going, where you got 20 yards to go, throwing it down the field,
and it's incomplete. And we've talked about, you lose guys like Goodlow and Chopin and Washington and Cale Babin. They lost Gavin Sonier too as a senior, and he was their center, one of their leaders on the offensive line, and that's kind of hurt them tonight too. So it's going to be fourth down and a mile with 8:31 left to go. So Kern's going to come in to punt.
Damian Knighton set to return.
Kern needs to get after this kick.
Now you remember he bobbled that one previously, and you made the mental note that watch Scotlandville come here, and it looks like they're going to be rushing this kicker. Here they come big time, and they block it. And you again, that's why you're the coach. As they trying to do something, that's really dangerous right there. Looked like Max Johnson in the Rose Bowl last week against UCLA, but oh boy! And the coach. That's why we pay you the big money, because you noticed when Kern dropped that snap earlier, you said next time they're coming. And they got to him.
Yeah, that was pretty easy too.
Yeah.
And so now, as a coach, you're sitting there because I don't know if a special teams coach is bringing guys, because you got offense, defensive guys, a mixture on these special teams.
Yeah.
But you may have to send that out there without any talking to them and coaching and stuff like this.
Yeah. So now first down, and Scotlandville has a chance to open this game up a little bit, but a few yards from Gunn, but East Ascension's defense still doing a good job. About 2 yards on the carry, maybe not even 2.
I tell you what, Scotlandville knew where to come and to block that thing, and I know it's a right-footed punter, and you rush on that the punter's kicking side or punting side.
That could be a big turning point right here if they get points on the board. Second down and long, and quarterback T-set, and that's complete. A little cushion, and they get the first down.
It's a little cushion, but to me it's just too much cushion.
Yeah.
They have completed that. And when I saw the Woodlawn Catholic game last year, I think the quarterback for Woodlawn, and you called his name earlier.
Yeah, Ricky Collins.
Completed about 15 of those passes. And
we have an injured Spartan on the field down there.
Well, I see that trainer standing up, so I'm thinking again it's going to be that calf muscle. And, you're sitting here and you're going, You know, what about some conditioning? You know, let me just tell you, conditioning was surviving that hurricane that came through. And this is just one of these situations right here, Jeff, where, you know, nobody got any conditioning, you know, basically over the hurricane time.
You're right, and it's kind of showing here in the second half with a couple of stoppages for that. Let's, while they're taking a look at the injured player, let's take a look at the games that are taking place this week. Swack, you mentioned them already a little bit, but we can review them since we got a little bit of time here. Of course, this is the Thursday game, our Eatel game, but we got a doubleheader, and so tomorrow we got the Evangel Dutchtown game, which is going to be a big one, and then you talked about the triple header at Griffin Field. We will not be covering the Walker Santa Ma game, but that's a Saturday game.
And I might say it's going to be at 6 o'clock also.
Okay, so it's an hour earlier than normal. So.
And, you know, another game tonight is McKinley at Capitol, or Acadiana at Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's going to be at Memorial Stadium. And Woodlawn at U High. That ought to be a heck of a game.
Absolutely.
Right there.
This is a much improved district, and the parish has got some competition now in the EBR.
You go next week with Brother Martin coming here next Thursday.
And so now on 1st and 10, and just a quick pitch and catch, and again, lots of room, and Hubbard takes advantage of it. He gets inside the 5.
You know, you got a guy with a strong arm. You got to cover these guys up that are out there wide, because if you allow them to catch the ball and get leverage, and as you can see right now, to the wide side of the field, they're doing a good job of that.
Yeah, they're so scared of giving up the touchdown that they're just giving them easy yardage, and this is kind of that adage where you take what they give you, and they're doing it. And as a flag goes down, and they're going to push Scotlandville. And this is kind of Scotlandville's story. They look good, then they shoot themselves in the foot and make mistakes on penalties. So,
I'm sitting here, you know, there's a lot of philosophies on how you schedule people and stuff like that, and every coach has got to do whatever they feel is most important. Now, I will say this. Sometimes when you're as good as Scotlandville, or the success you had with East Ascension, you can't get a game.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to play you, but I'm sitting here looking at Catholic. They had to go to Maryland. Now they're playing Acadiana this week.
Yep.
And then they're going to go up to West Monroe next week. That's 3 tough ones right there in a row.
Exactly. So now it's 2nd and 7. And T-Set rolling right into the end zone. And he's wide open. And that's a touchdown for the Hornets.
And I'm going to tell you, that receiver did an outstanding job of moving around, not taking off, headed in our direction. He stayed right there in that corner.
Yeah.
And T-Set was able to see him. And I know they had some kind of visual right there where, look, and again, I'll just tell you, Jeff, the throw doesn't take but a split second to get there.
Yeah. And it's right on the money. And they kind of just lost him, and he was just standing there on his own. And just took a little bit of time for T-Set to find him as he rolled out, and had plenty of time as nobody's out there on the right side of the EA line. But the touchdown will make it 27-14, and Montgomery will come in to kick the extra point.
But, you know, you got to look at this, Jeff. This is exactly what it was in the first half, 14-0.
And a high snap, and it's 13-0. That could be a big play. That's another one you can chalk up right there as a good tackle there made by Kendrick Broussard. So it's 27-14, 6:29 left to go in the third. We will take a break. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
It's 27-14. Scotlandville leads East Ascension. They've scored 13 unanswered in this second half. East Ascension's 2 drives, interception and blocked punt here in the second half. So they've been the ones making the mistakes here in the second half.
That's going to be a returnable kick.
And it's taken at about the 13 and to the 30, to the 40. Broken tackle outside, knocked hard out of bounds. Number 3, Brennan Thompson. And hit hard out of bounds. And
sophomore wide receiver Thompson right there.
Yep, it looked like Jeremiah Bell made the tackle and then struck a pose. That was a hard tackle out of bounds.
Here's another drive right around midfield. This will be the 3rd one in a row. The first 2 did not result in a score.
So 6 unanswered here in the second half so far for Scotlandville. They did score the other touchdown, so it's actually 13 unanswered. The other touchdown came at the end of the first half. So once East Ascension tied it up, Scotlandville now starting to pull away again. Now up the middle, big hole. And on inside the 40-yard line goes Samuel, and that's just a big burst right up the middle.
Samuel doing an outstanding job. So quick through the hole.
Right.
And then on top of it, 200-plus pounds. And very quick and very fast.
Yeah, he's going to be an outstanding running back in EA history. He's just a junior right now, but he has all the skills, and he can attack that hole right away. 1st and 10. And there's a running back up the middle, and another big hole. And maybe another first down, very close. That's Corey Johnson. I tell you what, I'm impressed with this 1-2 punch that you have right here for East Ascension
and
as you get the hydration
solid
break
all night long.
Yeah. You got the hydration break right now, so we will take a break, and let's talk about the top 10 in 5A. And I was taking a look at this, and you got the top 10, and one of the things that drew a lot of attention to me was 7 of these teams were directly affected by the hurricane, and that's gotta hurt, there, and especially when you look at like a team at number 9 like Destrehan, who may not play for weeks.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing is that Destrehan and Hahnville, big rivalry.
Right.
Plan on opening their season week 6.
Yep. That's probably the best they can do.
And I'm not sure, who else is in that district, if it's the Lafourches.
Yes, it is. It's East St. John, who may not play, and then you got Terrebonne and Central Lafourche and all those as well.
I went to Houma last week to bring some things to some relatives, and that's not a pretty situation.
Yeah.
Went through Hahnville. God almighty. I mean, there are trees down, and it's just a mess everywhere.
Yeah. I have family in Houma. That's where I grew up, and it's just awful. And on 2nd and 1, and cuts outside, and Samuel just attacking and getting in the first down into the red zone inside the 20. So this drive all on the ground for the Spartans.
And Jeff, it looks to be like East Ascension is able to put a hat on a hat and stalemate that defender. And if you can do that all the way up to the linebacker area, Samuel shows you just exactly what he can do.
This is a good answer so far here by the Spartans, and about 5-6 more for Samuel. And a good job stretching that ball out and getting maybe another yard or two.
Because, there's nothing fancy about that. That's handing the ball off. Everybody man blocking right here. And you pull through there. That's a 4-yard gain.
Exactly.
And that's 5. A bad game for them right there.
And they're running straight up the gut, and they got the 380-pound Jarvis Miller, and they're running right at him and getting success. Not right there, though, as they try to cut it outside on the right side.
So what's the difference in that play?
Trying the right side instead.
Well, they're trying to go outside
Yeah.
instead of hitting those quick shots that they've been very successful at.
Yes.
No gain on the play, third down.
You're absolutely right. That's the first thing that I noticed as well. When you're running right at the guy, he's not doing much. You see him getting off the field now. He's not been effective on this series of downs so far. 6'4", 380 pounds, though. That's a big guy. Low snap. They do get it off, and it's going to bring up fourth down as just kind of a misconnection there with the quarterback in the snap. Corey Johnson gets a couple out of it, but this is probably a field goal situation. Doesn't look like they are even thinking about it, though. I don't see they're going to go for it right here.
And you know what? This is week 1.
Yeah.
Got a lot of football left. And I'm going to just tell you, what would you run right here, Jeff? What would you do? Throw, run? What would you do?
I'd be looking for Jupiter right here.
How about
or the penalty? I'd say
smart.
Jupiter in the slot.
This has happened.
That cadence.
Third time tonight.
Yep.
Excellent job right there, Darnell Lee.
And when you talk about just sloppy and just kind of beating yourself, that's what Scotlandville's doing. They're keeping East Ascension in his game, and Darnell Lee his team is focused, and they're not making a lot of big mistakes. They made their share of them, but they're not doing anything.
They made
really
a mistake
silly.
at Central, and they have learned by that. And I see some positive things happening.
Absolutely,
right here.
This team is very focused right now. I think 3:39 left to go, and it's second and goal.
Corey Johnson off the left side.
It's not going to be much, and it looks like it's going to be at about the 8.
The one that you haven't seen run the ball tonight, and I can understand that, is the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's it's a big kid, a lot of experience right here.
And another run up the middle, and now the middle is closing up a little bit.
Well, I'm sure that pure man right here, and so that when you do that, you can add another guy.
Yeah. They took big guy Miller out the game, and it's been more effective after they took him out. See number 4 kind of in that spot. It looks like big defensive lineman, or number 5, Braylon White instead, and he's done a good job. So now it's third down, and this is a passing situation. And a timeout's going to be called.
Timeout, Hornets.
And so Scotlandville is going to call a timeout. We'll take a break. 27-14. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
We're back, and coming out of the timeout, it's going to be third and goal for East Ascension, trailing by 13. They got 2 plays to get 8 yards, or else they're going to give up the ball on downs, and Scotlandville have a chance to either run some clock or extend their lead. So this is a big portion of the game right here.
Well, you got Walter Samuel in the backfield.
And a kind of an unusual snap, but they get it thrown into the end zone, and it's just out of the reach of the receiver, kind of off target there as they're looking for Corey Mitchell. He was open, but I think maybe that play just with that unusual snap and having trouble getting it, that might have kind of broke the rhythm there, broke the tempo. And now they're going to try the field goal. They bypassed it earlier on a 4th and 4.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I'm not sure about this because, a field goal is going to be, it could be a difference maker because you have a 13-point lead here.
And it is. That looks wide right. It's wide right. He missed it. Oh, boy.
Hornets field goal attempt is no good.
So,
Wide right.
missed it wide right.
Hornets will take over the first and 10 from their own 20.
Oh, that's just unfortunate. There's the 3 drives now in this third quarter for East Ascension. You have the interception, you have the block punt, and then you have the missed field goal. And that was a field goal that you would have expected them to make. That was
that was an extra point field goal.
That was about a 23-yarder. So East Ascension just can't finish the drives right now, and that's hurt them in this third quarter because they have moved the football. And now Scotlandville will have a chance to run some clock here with a 2-possession lead. And handoff bouncing outside, but can't.
So, Jeff, what do you think about the multicolored stripes on the football field?
I think that's good for us because we can kind of tell where everything is.
So you need a lot bigger stripe from me because my vision's I've been impressed with the vision.
Yeah, I like the way the fields look. And we've seen the markups, and we may show some of those tomorrow night. Some of the markups of what the new fields are going to look like, and they're all going to look very similar to this. One of the differences that Jeff Pyron said was that Dutchtown has Dutchtown in both end zones, but the other schools will have their school name and in one end zone and the mascot in the other end zone. That's about the only major difference that you're going to see. Second down and not much. Doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage, I believe. He might have got a yard out of that, but it's 23rd and 11.
And I will say Dutchtown, that's a lot of letters, but I know one thing, that Donaldsonville, that's a lot of letters.
It's even more.
Dunn goes around the
right, and I'm sure that
I wasn't a real big fan of it. Then when I got here and I saw it, I said, "Man, that really looks good."
Yeah, I like having the same name in both end zones. I think it looks very nice. That's a huge griffin though in midfield.
Well, I'm glad we have Jeff here.
But,
yes,
and we talked to Jeff, and he was saying, "Wait till you see the gator if you think that's big."
I mean, you have the Griffins, you have the mascot name, they're on the 20 and 30-yard line on each end. I think it looks outstanding.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what these other fields are going to look like once they are up and going. And so that's what we're going to talk to Jeff Pyron about tomorrow. He's going to give us some ideas. He told us a couple of things tonight, but we're going to let him have his moment and talk about that tomorrow, as it's now 3rd and 11.
Well, it's a gigantic project. There's no doubt about that.
And T-set and a deep pass downfield, and look at that
flew
about 60 yards in the air.
I was thinking that this
incomplete
this receiver was going to be able to stop, and that ball was just going to filter. The DB's going to run right by him. But outstanding job defensively right there.
Beautiful throw. It's going to be 4th down though, as it's incomplete. And you got to give credit to the East Ascension secondary. They don't want to give up the big play, and they've given them cushions occasionally, but they haven't given up a big play all night. And T-set's gone for the home run a couple of times, and the secondary has been there both times.
I'm going to tell you, I believe I'd come after this one. Somebody's got to make a play. You see where you're going to return the punt from.
Yes.
Got 0-0 on the clock, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Their special teams, their extra points are solid. They're punting. It looks like they haven't practiced punting all week, because there's always been a man out. There's been a man short. Somebody comes in the game who's not supposed to be there. Then they had the first punter come out there with the 5-yard punt.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Jeff. With that offense they have, I'm not real certain if punting's
right and
in their vocabulary. But you know what? You are certain that somewhere down the road,
it's
going to win or lose games for you.
Yeah. And if you remember, there was a fourth down where it looked like it was an obvious, and there's another shank. And it goes to 25. But I was going to point out that, I believe it was the second quarter, there was an obvious punt situation near midfield, and they chose to go for it because, and I think we understand why they decided to go for it.
I mean, this is a little scary to me.
Yeah.
That Lester Ricard says, I don't have any confidence in this, so we're just going to go for it from now on.
It could happen.
So, giving that offense 4 downs instead of 3 and possibly punting, that's something that they might need to think about.
Yeah.
Because in this situation that EA has right now, I think this is going to be totally a run right here.
Yes, they got the big man in there.
I see that they changed to a 4-man front.
Yeah, but they brought Miller back in as they were going for the corner route. But the whistle will end that. You did point out, though, and so offsides on the offense on that. But the previous series of downs, when they had Miller, number 77, in there, and he's unmistakable right there in the middle of the field.
Right.
They were running right through him and just completely blowing him out the play. Now he's back in the game, but now you have the other big guy in there with him, number 9, Mekhi Smith. So we'll see if the two-man combo can do something up the middle.
And I'm sure, Coach Lee's been working on the passing game, but I'm going to tell you what they got right here. They have some very good quick backs.
Now they're setting up the screen. It's set up perfectly. It's to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and down at the 1.
Down at the 1.
They were setting that up perfectly. They were setting it up perfectly. And
what a play. Did you see Dunn, the job that he did?
Absolutely.
I think he might have been at the 50-yard line. He backpedaled so much. Come on, guys, and just dumping it right out. Beautiful job right there.
That reminded me of Drew Brees and Pierre Thomas setting it up perfectly and just good running, good hard running there.
Wow, what a play call,
and that was a smart
what
call
execution.
Because you could tell with the second defensive tackle they were going to try to get some push right up the middle, and they just let them come. They just let everybody come right at them and set up the screen perfect. Now it's about a foot away from the end zone, and the Fridge is back in. And this time it's Samuel, and he's in standing.
Oh, nice push right there by the right side.
Touchdown, Spartans. 27-20. We got another ball game here. East Ascension refuses to die. They're playing a tough
team,
but they are answering blow for blow right now.
And look, let me just tell you something, man. This extra point is big. You make this. Kern gets confidence back in his kicking game, and you may have to make an extra point here to win the game.
Didn't do it. It's blocked. And the whistle, and it's a dead ball, and so the extra point's no good.
It's hard to make it when you got leakage in that protection right there.
Exactly. Well, it's 27-20, though. We got ball game again. Let's take a break. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
Welcome back. We've missed you. We know it's been tough. Because rebuilding your business isn't for the faint of heart. Your business needs a jump start. And we're here to help. Introducing Surge, symmetrical speed fiber internet from Eatel Business. Revved up data speeds at 30% off, plus 3 months free. We're glad you're back, and we're here to make your business surge.
And we're back. It's 27-20 after the blocked extra point. And so it's a 7-point ball game. We've seen this a couple of times. It looks like Scotlandville is going to pull away, and then they make some mistakes, and East Ascension takes advantage of them, and they're right back in this ball game. And here we are, Swack, headed to the fourth quarter, probably within a touchdown. So Kern will kick off, and it gets through to about the 3. And taken to the 25. Cuts outside. Oh, boy. He's to the 40. He's to midfield. Bounces over a guy, and he's still running. Did he ever step out of bounds? East Ascension insists that he's out of bounds right around the 40. And now we see a whistle.
For the Hornets to run out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
Okay, the 48-yard line, according to the public address announcer.
Well, I was looking for the official to see exactly where he went out of bounds. So
they were actually pointing further down the field. The East Ascension they were about at the 38.
Well, he might have went out of bounds twice.
Yeah, but if you don't hear a whistle or if there's any doubt, just keep running. That's what they did. They might have been able to pull it off. Who knows?
That's got to make you a little scary.
Yeah. Sometimes they might have missed it. Who knows? 16 seconds left now. So East Ascension really dodged something right there. And now T-Set with the bobble and intercepted. Intercepted. Here we go down the field to the 33-yard line. Number 35. Joshua Burfict, number 25 with the interception.
T-Set's been doing a great job of throwing those little quick hitches.
Yep.
That one got there a little bit too soon for that receiver.
And that was...
And I'll just say this. The DB was playing a little bit closer.
Yep.
It popped right out of that receiver's hand. He was right there.
And that was Hubbard, the receiver, and he was pretty dependable most of this night so far. He had the touchdown catch.
Boy, you can run the ball right here.
Absolutely. This has been a fun ball game for week one opener.
That's what they said. The middle's wide open here, Coach.
And on first down, there's Samuel, cuts outside, breaks a tackle. It's bobbled, and it's loose, and it's Scotlandville. Oh, boy.
Walter Samuel on the
boy.
Wow. I said the middle was wide open, but nobody was blocked on that play.
Yeah, and he just lost that one.
And Samuel right there trying to make something. He was at the 10-yard gain right there.
He had that screen pass down to the 1, so he might have been smelling something right there, and then he just kind of with the ball, and it wasn't really knocked out of his hands. He just kind of lost it. And now at the 25, Scotlandville gets new life. But here's the thing, Swack. It's about 30 yards the other way on down the field. So now they got a longer field to work with, which could be an advantage to East Ascension. And on first down, there's a handoff, and there's lots of room on that left side. Breaks a tackle, goes out of bounds about the 45. Nice run, Marlon Gunn Jr., as there's zeros on the clock now, as you see on the replay.
I got a question for you here, Jeff.
Yeah.
What is East Ascension's overall record against Dutchtown?
20, Hornets 27.
I'm guessing Dutchtown has the lead by about 4 or 5 games.
The quarter of tonight's game is brought to you
8
by
and 9.
Dutchtown.
Well, I kind of thought that Dutchtown had
I guess
the
it'd
lead.
be 8-9. Dutchtown's ahead.
Yeah. So
what about the Santa Maud East Ascension game?
Wow. I would think they would have a slight lead.
They got a slight lead last year with a victory, 21-20.
Yep, there you go. So we're at the end of the third quarter. Let's take a quick break before we do some more of these little trivia things and
just checking your
talking to the
intelligence,
sponsors.
son.
Talking to the sponsors now. 27-20. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction. Walk-ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
Fourth quarter about to begin. 1st and 10, Scotlandville.
43-yard line.
And East Ascension had a chance to go down and possibly tie the game, but a Walter Samuel fumble killed the drive, and now it's Hornet football. And I think there was a little fight for the ball there, and they get a first down out of it as the snap kind of went between the running back Langley and the quarterback T-Set. But you got the ball.
The Dutchtown has they have to rise to the occasion right here.
Yes. 10-yard run.
They've given up two kind of big plays on outside plays. I can see another run to the.
Nope, there's the pass, and it's complete. And that's, once again, Knighton. And another first down. And the hold's going to negate that. So, and I was about to say before that play, but we ran out of time. East Ascension's MO, except for that interception a moment ago, was just sit around and do your job and wait for Scotlandville to shoot themselves in the foot. And guess what?
It just happened. And, that's a big play. I mean, that hole was back there where the quarterback was throwing.
Yeah.
Throwing.
So it's going to be pushed back all the way past the 40. They're moving that marker all the way down to the 35-yard line. Wow. So let's see.
So this is
that's
it's almost not a I'm not going to say it's not a fair penalty. That's a big penalty right there.
Yeah, it's 1st and 28.
A stretch played outside,
and there's a run. They get about 9 of it back, so that's a good job on first down by Marlon Gunn Jr. He's a 6'2", 110-pound senior. He's a good player too. So now it's second down. We're going to call it
second down and about 20 for the Hornets.
So from that shotgun, T-set, and he looks to his right, complete, and they get about half of it again.
I'll throw some things at you that Lyle gave us.
Okay.
T-set has offers from Arkansas, SEC, Ole Miss, SEC, Florida State, and Louisiana Tech.
So we're going to see him on Saturdays, that's for sure. They spotted the ball in midfield. It's going to be 3rd down and 13. He's got lots of talent, and he's going to play quarterback. And there's the rush, and throws it down the field, incomplete. And so that's what I was talking about, Swag. Kind of the MO here is wait for Scotlandville to shoot themselves in the foot, and they did with that really, really long penalty, and now East Ascension's got a chance to get the ball back.
And you know what? I'm coming after it.
So let's see.
Offensive lineman number 75, Jamal Franklin, offers from Texas and South Alabama. Number 2 that we haven't seen since the first quarter, running back Chance Williams, offers from Memphis, Southern, Southeastern, and Alcorn.
They cannot get a punt off without a penalty or something.
Marlon Gunn, last one running back, offers from Florida State, TCU, Virginia, Tulane, and Southern Methodist, SMU.
They've got some talent, and we're not even talking about like these big guys. Well, you talk about Franklin, so yeah, that's one of the big guys. But it's not just the skill players they got. They got players in the trenches. They got players in the secondary. They got players everywhere.
If you're offering an offensive lineman, there's 5 of them. But when you're offering a running back or a quarterback, you got to be real smart on just exactly who you pick up right there, because only one of those quarterbacks can play.
Yep.
At the starting 11-yard line.
And the ball's going to be down at the 11. And you talk about this backfield that they have with Williams and Gunn. And it's not that often that you see two guys in the same backfield that are going to play Division I, possibly FBS football in the same backfield coming out of high school. I mean, you saw that with Franklin and Dunn at Catholic High. You know, Dutchtown had it with Lacey and Kelvin York, but you don't see that very often. That's a very rare thing.
Right.
And on first down, it's going to be a short gain. Tell you what, ever since they patched up that middle, it's been really hard to get anything off the ground.
Well, I may be wrong, but I thought I saw that they went to a 4-man front.
Yeah, you did. No, that was definitely the case. When they brought in number 9, Mekhi Smith, to kind of shore up the middle, and now you don't even have the big man Miller in there at all. So now it's 2nd and 8. And quick pass, complete. Down to about the 16 or 17. That's another short gain. Very dangerous. That was Mitchell, I believe, on the catch.
Stop was made by Milligan.
So they get about 2 or 3 on that, so it's going to be 3rd and 6. With 9:36 left to go in this game. Even if you don't convert here, you just can't make a mistake and give Scotlandville the ball deep on this side of the field right here. There's still time on the clock if you can stop them again. Of course, they're trying to convert right here. You see Samuel in the backfield. And a run up the middle. They're going to try that spot, and they do get a little bit, but they're going to be about a yard, maybe 2 yards short. It's definitely going to bring up 4th down. That was
Samuel on the carry. Stop was
and
made.
they're, according to the, they see on the far side of the field, it's going to be 4th and 1. And the last time you came out there, they blocked the punt, and they bring it into Fridge, so they're going to go for it. That last punt was blocked, Swack. I'm sure that's in the back of their head.
Got to be in the back of their head, and then that 8 minutes and 8.5 minutes left in this game, I'm going to say they're going to run to this right side with the big man.
Yeah. So let's see what they do. And just a little sneak up the middle, and depends on the spot. I think that's enough.
I see the spot over there by the.
I think it's enough.
Head official.
Yep. And so just a little sneak by Dunn does the trick.
It might be Dunn's first carry tonight, huh?
I think so. So move the chains. 8:08 left to go. So now the clock becomes a factor. The ground game has kind of slowed down since that touchdown drive earlier. And now a deep pass downfield. He's got a step, then he steps back and drops it. It was underthrown a little bit. Brennan had a step on the defender. Then he had to correct and stop and nearly came up with it.
You got to make that catch.
Yeah, that would have been a big play right there. He was in a position to do it. They had their chance right there. And I think that's the first really home run ball we've seen all night from Dunn. So it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. And a nice spin move and getting away from defenders. And Samuel will get, we're going to say about a yard or 2. Worked hard to get that yard, though. And now 7.5 minutes left to go in this game. So, again, possibly 2 down territory.
So we got 3rd and 9.
So let's see what they come out with. They got the receivers. It looks like it's going to be an empty backfield, 5 receiver set. Shotgun.
Well, you got this now. That means it's pure man.
Mm-hmm. And the blitz, he gets it off and it's intercepted. And that's Knighton, and he's down to the 10, 5, and he scores. Oh, that's a backbreaker right there with 6:58 left to go in this
Looked
game.
like Dunn got hit right when he released that one.
That was a good call on the blitz right there because it definitely disrupted and caused him to overthrow that pass. That was a great call by the defensive coordinator on the Scotlandville side.
You have no free safety in the middle. And so you got your choices of what to do, or you could drop people and underneath protection.
So the pick six by Damian Knighton, a senior wide receiver cornerback. And another whistle on another Scotlandville special teams play. And so substitution on East Ascension. So my apologies, it wasn't on you. It's 33-20 now, so again, it's a two-possession game. East Ascension's fought back from this once already. It's getting harder and harder as the clock continues to run. The margin of error is very slim. This kicker, we've been impressed with him, Nick Montgomery, as a kicker. That's been the lone bright spot on their kicking game here tonight. And there it is again. Oh, what's the joke? This special teams is not very special.
Well, one thing good about it, you score enough points, you get to practice it a bunch.
Yep. Still sorting it out. And here we go. Okay. Didn't seem that complicated. So we'll kick from a little bit further back. And with this kicker, unless we get to about the middle of the Griffin, we're in his range. He already kicked an extra point from the tail of the Griffin. And it looks like Scotlandville is ready, but the officials are still talking to the coaches. This has been about 5 minutes. They never assessed the penalty. It's week one for the officials, too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at East Ascension's record against their opponents this year, and it's amazing against McKinley. They're 33-3 lifetime.
That's very impressive. I don't think they've ever. Oh, what? Okay. I don't know, but the holder face planted.
No good. It's 6:58 left
the
in
holder
game.
face planted. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Might be the same kicker, same holder, same snapper that kicked the 50-yarder just a while
Probably.
ago.
All right, 33-20. We'll take a break. We need a break. You're watching the Eatel High School Football Game of the Week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
All right, and we're back, and East Ascension needs 2 touchdowns. It's a 13-point game, 33-20. Pick 6 by Damian Knighton, senior defensive back for Scotlandville. And that gave them the lead as blitz kind of disrupted Dunn and his pass, overthrown and intercepted. And now we'll see what he can do. That was his second interception of the night. And now we're ready to go. Jupiter back deep for East Ascension.
Tell you what, East Ascension got a ton of people here tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Great student section too.
Right, and you know some of these people have had one heck of a week, and this is just a good way of having a distraction here, as they're having trouble getting the ball. Swack was pointing it out, and I didn't say anything as the ball gets to about the 12-yard line. That just looks sloppy right there on all parts. But every time every time Scotlandville kicks off, there's about 2 or 3 guys on the other side of the line.
Return for the Spartans.
And you know, you look across the way there, Jeff.
You know,
Scotlandville.
13-yard line.
You think these people have a great following right here?
Absolutely.
I mean, I know track, they're outstanding. Basketball, they're real outstanding. Here you got football right here. Got talent all over the field. And these people came. They got a nice following right there, band.
Exactly. And it's hard. I tell you what, it's hard to get anywhere right now. And I know that from all the East Ascension people in the press box. And you mentioned it. Loyson Porter mentioned it. Everybody had trouble getting to the stadium because there was either traffic or an accident or something. Like it's hard to get to Dutchtown right now. And I've been in the traffic in Gonzales during the week while on Monday and Tuesday, and it's just horrible out there right now because of all the problems. So it's just hard to get out here, but everybody got out here and they're having a good time, and it's a good break. So on first down. And here's Dunn, and this time he's going to tuck it and run. And Swack, you were talking about that. We haven't seen that much tonight. That's the first time he kind of just took it and ran, and he gets a first down.
And I'm not real certain with that. Sometimes you can easily say, well, maybe the backup quarterback is not ready just yet. So I'm going to let. You got 2 good running backs. You got a number of good receivers.
So 1st and 10, and you were placing a lot of receivers.
Jaquel Mack needs to step it up right here.
We haven't seen much of him tonight, and he's been coming in and out, and there's a deep pass downfield, and there he is, dropped. I think they were looking for pass interference.
I was looking for that myself.
I think he were draped over his shoulder, and you could see the fans a little frustrated right there. But Mack had a chance.
And look. Mm-hmm. Jeff, that throw was a corner route from the right hash to the sideline over there.
Right. The distance that ball traveled was –
I couldn't see where the outside, the widest receiver, he should have been running a little hitch route.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good chunk right there.
Yeah, he was throwing it from about the G for the Griffins to about the 45-yard line on the other side of the field. That is huge. And that's knocked away but caught as a lot of room to run, 45, 50. Nice move. Breaks a tackle. I thought that was going to be swatted at the line of scrimmage. But somehow they got it to Brennan Thompson, and that's a first down. And this drive gets into the other side of the field.
Big lineman coming downfield right here blocking too.
And the Hornet 44-yard line.
So good job. It looked like from my vantage point that ball was going to be knocked about 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but somehow it got through, and that's going to be the hydration break. So nothing to be alarmed about right there, no penalty. And we're 6 minutes away, and East Ascension driving, and we're going to keep it here. We talk about the district, and on the other side of East Baton Rouge Parish, and that's the district that Scotlandville's in, 4-5A. And the team to beat in that district every year, it seems like at this point, is Zachary. Scotlandville's got a good team, though. Walker has some good players, and then you got, Denham Springs.
We're going to find out a little bit about Walker on Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Then you got Central, Denham Springs, Live Oak. They don't really pose that much of a threat in recent years. But Zachary, I mean, they're a team that's got to be considered a threat for the Dome every year now. And Scotlandville, they have the talent if they could just put together a run against some of these private schools in the select playoffs.
I had the opportunity to watch my grandson's team, Notre Dame, go against Acadiana.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting, I think, 4 guys on the defensive side of the ball that are –
That's a
done
huge sack.
right there. Didn't even see
right
coming from the backside. But Acadiana's very solid. Of course, they've won the state championship the last 2 years.
Right, and the program, like the system that they run, it really doesn't matter who they have out there because they're just so good at it. That veer system, that sack from Antoine Ellis, that's a 20-yard sack, almost. Second down and a mile. Samuel gets some of it back, not much. And this is a situation with 5:18. They're going to have to go for it on 4th down. It's 3rd down and a lot. Let's got to get to the 34. So 16 and 7, 23. 3rd and 23 for East Ascension. Definitely 2-down territory. See some substitutions going in. Jupiter out. Hobby in. And another rush. And he's going to keep it. He's got room. He gets to midfield, and that brings up a manageable 4th and about 13. I tell you what, the last couple of series, they've started to rush quarterback, and they've put some pressure on the quarterback out here. So we're going to say 4th and 15, actually, where they mark it at the 49. 4:18 left to go. This is a must-convert play right here. And they get 5 extra. So that's about the 3rd or 4th time that Dunn's done that?
I'm going to go 4.
Yeah.
And 4 critical ones.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You got 4th down, about
so 4th and 10. And that's very manageable considering where they've come from.
That they haven't used tonight, and it's not that it was used just now, but Dunn can run.
Yeah.
And so that he's a guy that could very easily be a difference maker.
He has about 20 to 25 yards on this series so far right now, and the pass is up for grabs and incomplete. And that was intended for Mack. Is there a flag on the field?
Incomplete to Jaquel Mack. There's a flag on the play.
So the flag, got to sort that out.
That's the one thing I didn't like, because Dunn, I think, is a guy, it looks like he's improved greatly from last year in some regards, but they're going to have to really seriously improve in the passing game, and that's got to start up front.
Holding, defense.
Defensive holding. And another thing that has to be mentioned, I mean, we've seen some nice plays from Ja'Cory Mitchell here tonight, and Brennan Thompson's made some plays, but they have always had maybe the best receiving core in the parish, and maybe even in 5A.
Well, they've had a number of receivers.
I mean, they've just been, it's been like a factory out there, but like, This year they lost most of them, and they're sophomores and juniors.
Like these linebackers coming to slant ought to be a good little pass right here.
And they're blitz, and they're setting up the screen again. And a good job blowing it up by number 6, Covante Milligan. So that's very important right there.
Complete to Samuel. Stopped by number 9.
Okay, that's number 9, actually. Makai Smith.
No gain on the play.
So no gain. 3:23 left to go. They need to play with some urgency here, I believe. They got to get in here twice.
Here they come again.
And high snap, rolls out, and goes deep, complete.
Excellent job by the receiver coming back to get the ball.
Yes. I believe that is Mitchell with the catch.
Well, I mean, he was going down the sideline right there. Dunn did an outstanding job getting away from the rush. Could have easily ran for the first down, but boy, that throw was right down the sideline wide open.
And that'll stop the clock, most importantly. 3:03, 1st and 10 from the 15. They can score here. They have time. Rolls out to his right, complete. There's Mack, and he is upended. Good job on the defense by number 20, Cameron Reed. 2:51 left to go.
Dunn's pass is complete to Joseph Hobby. Stop was made by number 20.
So the clock continues to run, 2:40.
Cameron Reed picks up 1, 2nd down, 9 for the Spartans.
You have Dunn and Samuel in the backfield. Max in motion. Snap, looking left, corner route, and it's underthrown and intercepted.
Same thing. Got a hitch on the outside of the corner right there. You got to throw that hitch route.
Yep.
And you know, in order to keep that corner honest, you could, you could square that hitch in a little bit right there.
And Damian Knighton, he's listed as a wide receiver / quarterback. Well, not even listed as a DB, and I believe he's got 3 picks tonight. I think he has all 3 of them. I may be mistaken on the first one. He had to pick 6, and he had the one in the end zone right there. That's a senior, 5'10", 170 pounds. A little undersized, but he's had a whale of a game tonight. He might be their most valuable player. And so ball's going to be spotted at the 1. The clock's at 2:24. And it looks like, I believe that they have all of their timeouts remaining. Scotlandville is in a position, though, with 1 first down to probably ice the game.
Right. Maybe. That just depends.
Yeah. So what I've seen out here, Swag, and kind of what we've been talking about, I think this East Ascension team has a chance to be a good team. They need some bigger contributions from their wide receivers, and a little more consistency in some spots. But they look like they have a chance to do something here if they can find some receivers.
They have 2 good running backs.
Yep.
The quarterback, you can win with him.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line looked like they had some issues with 4 people down.
Yeah.
Which is, understandable because it's 4 pretty good people.
Yeah. I thought the defense played pretty well most of the night. Their secondary looked good. They gave up a little bit of a cushion in some spots, and speaking of, gave it up right there.
Tell you what, they have taken advantage of that, and I'm going to just tell you the discipline that the quarterback and Lester Ricard have done, throwing these hitches and throwing these hitches and throwing more and more hitches.
Yeah,
and not many of them have been like that where the guy caught it and went to the ground.
Right.
Most of them they've gotten plenty of extra yardage.
And they've gone toe-to-toe with these guys tonight, though, most of the night. And you're going to see this Scotlandville team, when they finish their season, will probably be 1st or 2nd in 4-5A as That's probably enough for a first down. It's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
And so this is going to be this is a team that, you know, they play in that select playoff, so it's going to be hard for them to make it to the Dome or wherever they wind up playing this year, the select championships, as we have a timeout being called.
The select championships are going to be like it was a couple of years ago, where they have a choice of where they want to play.
Yeah.
You know, I think they might have played some at Tulane Stadium.
Yeah. Now, last year they all had to play at Northwestern.
Right.
But they had made the split where the select teams were not playing in the Superdome
Well,
anymore.
I mean, people were just glad to be playing. And,
yeah. Now it is a 1st and 10, and 1:28 left to go. So this is kind of wrap it up. But like I said, this is a 13-point loss that's going to be handed to the Spartans. But this is a team that when they start getting into that 4-5A play, they're gonna win some games by a few points.
And you talked about Scotlandville's kicking game, which was very bad tonight.
Yeah.
East Ascension wasn't a whole lot better. So.
You're right.
You know, that's there's going to be a lot of things.
And this might be a 20-point lead if they don't get them right here. And they don't. And so that's Marlon Gunn. That's the guy you were talking about as being recruited by all those schools. He just took it 88 yards.
Touchdown.
So it's going to be 39-20. So those things happen at the end of some ball games. Trying to run out the clock, and then next thing you know, they score a touchdown.
Speed to get you, baby.
Absolutely. That guy, this whole team's just got so many. They just got so much in those skill positions. And the extra point coming. Although we hope it's coming without a penalty. That would be the first one tonight. And it's no, yeah, okay. All right, it's 39-20. We're gonna take our last break of the night, Andre. How about that? All right, so we're gonna take a break. You're watching the Eatel High School football game of the week.
The athletic training staff of East Ascension High School would like to thank Ascension Equipment, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital, Piku Builder Supplies, Ross Downing Chevrolet, Wash and Roll Express Car Wash, Austin Fire Systems, SKR Construction, Walk-Ons for their support of the EA Sports Medicine Program.
And we're back, and it's 39-20. East Ascension hung with Scotlandville most of the night, but Scotlandville pulls away at the end, and we are kind of in wrap-up time with 1:12 left to go in this game. I'm Jeff Porsche and David Swacker, and we're both glad to have football again and be back. And while we wait for this kick, we got to talk about all the other people out there. Lyle Boudreau, he's been doing this from home for 2 years, and we're glad to have him, and he's given us a lot of information on the fly that we've been able to put into the broadcast.
A lot of great information. Pretty neat stuff.
And, of course, the whole crew out here, Josh, Nolan, Andre, everybody always does a great job. And we're going to see the kick return from about the 10. And not much to the 14, 15-yard line. So, yeah, again, Lyle Boudreau, Josh, Nolan, and Andre putting together this whole thing. These guys are out here in the heat at 4 o'clock,
17-yard line,
putting everything together and setting up cameras and everything. And the cameramen are outside while we're inside in the air conditioner. So we're grateful for all the contributions that they made. And we're all going to spend the night in the press box tonight because we have to be back here tomorrow. I'm going home. We got school tomorrow. Thank God Mr. Alexander gave us a 1 hour late start. because I could use the sleep tonight because this game's running a little long. But we're going to be out here tomorrow, Swack, and that's going to be fun. I love having 2 games. So
it's going to be interesting to see Dutchtown, the new offensive coordinator with Michael Janis.
Yep. And he's no stranger to this area in football. You just saw Tahi Washington with the carry right there, and he gets his first mention of the night. And they're going to play Evangel, but, if you're expecting like the state champion Evangel team, it's a little different now. Dutchtown is going to be a favorite in that game tomorrow. And they have Brennan Sampson, who's probably the best running back in 5.58 this year, and it's going to be fun watching him because you talk about a guy who can burst through a hole and accelerate. He's a Tennessee commit, and we'll see him tomorrow. So it's going to be fun for Dutchtown, and then we're going to get Santa Maria soon. Can't wait to see them. They have some good senior players as well.
Well, a lot of kids have been working really hard, and when you say you got your band, all your support people, your booster club people, it's an exciting time of the year, and wasn't a whole lot of fun last week, that's for certain, with all the bad weather coming through.
Right, you talk about the band. They did a great job here tonight. I've got to give a shout-out to Charles Lee, my old church buddy. He and I work the audio and visual together at our church, so he does a good job, and everybody's proud of the work he does out here as well. And you talk about the football players being out here in the heat and the sweat and everything during the summer. The band's right out there with them as well, and they work just as hard. So shout out to them. They did a good job tonight. So on the field, we got a 1st and 10 after a holding penalty. And there's a little reverse. And he's got some room to run. And who's that? Jupiter, I believe? We'll find out. So, number 19, I believe. Nigel Murphy. And that's going to be the final play of the game as the clock runs down to 0. And so it was a fun game till the final moments when the Hornets kind of pulled away. And our final score, 39-20. Scotlandville with the victory improves to 1-0 on the season. East Ascension, their loss, they will drop to 0-1 on the year. And that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Any final comments, Swack?
Well, I'm going to just tell you, it's good that we finally got football started. And it was tough to get it started with, most of these kids not in school. But we did get it started. And my hat's off to all the coaches getting their kids ready to play. There's some rough edges that need to be improved, but I no doubt that that's going to happen. And I think both teams are going to have an outstanding year. I just think that, you had 2 good football teams here. Mm-hmm. I think Dutchtown, we're going to see tomorrow night, maybe rightfully so. Yeah, they're going to be really outstanding. And then you're going to see Santa Maria on Saturday, which I think just from things that I've seen practice, that they are going to be outstanding. So the big thing is, you want to thank Dutchtown. Here they are, they're alone in the field, 3 straight nights, and it's not going to be just these 3 nights. It's going to be a number of nights.
Yep.
And outstanding facility. And the kids, Ascension Parish, are lucky to be able to play in these type of facilities.
Well, thank you, Swack, for all your contributions tonight, as usual, and your prophecies here a little bit with a couple of calls there. Great job tonight, Swack. We're going to be out here again tomorrow, Evangel at Dutchtown here at Griffin Field. So join us. It's on YouTube, the Eatel Sports channel on YouTube. That's where we're going to be all season for live streaming and, of course, the replays on Eatel Television Channel 4. So that's going to do it for Coach Swack. I'm Jeff Porsche. Our final score is Scotlandville 39, East Ascension 20. You've been watching the Eatel Game of the Week.